Ahoy and welcome to Archery After Hours. We're coming to you from Studio C,
See, senorita.
a dimly lit room deep within the bowels of the Wilderness Archery Communications compound. Tonight, we're joined by two very special guests, Tate Morgan and Paige Pearce. So you guys just got done with Reading along with us, and we all had a blast. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience this year up there?
I'm going to let him go first because I know he's just dying on the inside to tell you how good he did.
Oh God,
We saw it.
no. Reading was good. It was fun. I did whoop her butt this year though, so I don't ever have to shoot it again now.
In a
'cause
couple places.
I won. Yeah,
Don't remind him.
and Vegas.
King of the castle.
Yeah, what happened?
All you gotta do
Yeah,
is
who-
quit, and if you just quit archery, you become better.
Apparently.
For how long do you got to quit?
Oh,
How long
been
was
like
it?
a year now.
A year and a half. I don't know. Just shoot like 2 tournaments a year, and you just forget what nerves are or how not to aim in the middle, and
All the bad
just
stupid
all the
Okay.
bad things go away. You just put the pin in the middle and pull on it, and it fires. It's that
Okay.
simple.
It's that easy. All right.
Archery is that easy. Yeah,
See,
I wish it was that easy.
I think we were overthinking it this whole time.
everybody has been. I promise.
Apparently. No, Reading was good. Luckily we got good weather. Thank goodness.
Oh, wasn't
it's
that
been a long
cool?
time. It's been a while since we've had good
Yeah.
weather, so that was a plus. But it was always a good time. Like we had fun. We have a good group. I think everybody feels that way about their Reading group, so that's good. And we both shot good, both cleaned day one, so that was exciting. I've only cleaned day one once, and I think it was before the fire. It's been a
Mm.
while, so I don't know that I've cleaned it since the fire.
No, you did.
I
You
have
cleaned
once.
it.
Yeah.
You cleaned it
Cleaned
last
a couple
year.
years ago.
Okay, just kidding. No, that was
No. She missed her first arrow out of the bow last year,
Oh,
and then I cleaned it.
and then she
Okay.
cleaned it.
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, really, that was like one of the easiest targets of the day too. So I should have cleaned it then. But yeah, we both cleaned day one, which was good. And then day two, we have all the hard stuff. And I missed 4 and he missed 2. And I 20'd a target. I 20'd our second target of the day. So the
Damn.
whole day just felt shitty because you're like instantly more down than what you want to be. And it was the 50, like 7-ish yard bears before Bigfoot, those new ones. And
Mhm.
I was like, there's so many other hard targets. Like we have Bigfoot and the elk and the moose and the buffalo and
Mountain
those
goats.
mountain goats on the road. I was like, I could miss all the points today. Like I was really mad. But it ended up being fine. Like I missed 4. I was okay with that. 1 on Bigfoot, just low, 1 on the elk, just high. And then he only missed 2.
Yeah, I missed 1 on Bigfoot. No, I didn't miss Bigfoot. I got Bigfoot. I missed 1 on the elk, and then 1 on the moose. Were the 2 I missed.
Yeah, and both of them
That's
were kind of like
commendable.
wind and clicks. You want to tell them what dumb shit you did?
Oh yeah, that one. That pisses me off. On the elk herd, I could see missing the moose because the moose I missed by far enough that I don't think it would have made a difference if I gave it clicks or not. But on the elk herd, I definitely kind of hosed myself. I watched the group in front of us shoot, and it looked like everything was pushing a little bit right to left. So I gave it like 3 or 4 safety clicks, and
Mhm.
fired the first one, broke right in the middle of the dot, and it missed like half-inch right. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Damn.
So
Took the
the way he
Took the
clicked
clicks back out of it and smoked the next one. I was like, oh shit, what a dummy. Then we get to the moose. And like for the last, I don't know, last couple of years, I've always just walked up to the moose and given it like 4 or 5 clicks to the right. Because when we shoot it in the afternoon, we always have that updraft, those like
Yep.
the thermals, the wind, everything, those ribbons are the scariest, stupid things on the entire range. When you get to
Yeah.
that target, they're just whipping, even if the breeze, you can't feel it,
Yeah, it makes it
So
look
I'd
really
always have
bad.
given it like 4 or 5 clicks to the right just as a precaution. And it's hit every single year for the last like 5 or 6 years. And this year I was a little gun shy from
doing
doing it on the elk herd, so I didn't do it on the moose. But I mean, my dad fired an arrow. He put 4 clicks into it, fired his arrow. I fired my arrow like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 seconds afterwards. And then you shot your first arrow like right after me.
Yeah,
And
it's good.
both of theirs hit and mine was 8 inches right.
But I watched his drift.
And like
I was
mine
like, ooh.
made it about halfway down, and then I could read the label. So like there must have been like a weird gust of wind that came through halfway down, like as I shot or something, just bad timing, bad luck is all that one was really. Because I fired 140 arrows in the dot this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is dumb. I actually broke the The Bigfoot one that I missed broke a little low, so that one I was like, which I missed by like literally that much. So
Yeah.
I mean,
That one's
fine.
close.
The elk one I missed was just high, and that one broke solid, like in the dot. I was mad I missed that one. And then I only had 2 arrows all weekend that when they fired, I was like, oh God, they're not going to be there. And one of them was the first arrow on those bears I missed. And then there was one of them I hit on day 3. I don't even remember what target
It
it
was
was.
the target 15,
I think it was the white goats.
the white goats, because I had a sketchy one on that one too, and that was the
Yeah.
only like sketchy arrow I had all weekend. It just fired like right on the edge of the dot. And I was like, well,
Mhm.
it's got a 50-50 chance of being there because
Just-
of where it fired. It still was like
Right.
half shaft, but that was the only like even remotely scary one all
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh God. I can't start yawning yet. It's too early. It's not early. People, we are filming this after hours. Just know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's
Yawning is
8:42.
permitted. But yeah, then so we dropped 2 and 4, and then day 3 we both cleaned it again. So that was cool.
Animals.
Yeah, day 3 was easy. Like it, I don't know. I
Fuck
felt
you.
there was a couple targets that it's like I wanted to get through the target, just get them done. And we had started to get a little bit of like a backup in between targets, and like I'd get a little bit nervous just thinking about the next target waiting,
Yeah.
just like the anticipation of waiting to shoot the target.
Yeah.
And then like those downhill stupid jumping deer on
That's our
target
like
19.
our last
Like the last like
bar. It's 45, but like our last further target.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the only like one that I'm like, okay, if I get through that, the next 4 are cakewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like we're sitting there after the ducks waiting. It took felt like 35 minutes to shoot. It was like probably 3 minutes, 5 minutes of a wait,
Yeah.
it was all. I'm just like, Jesus, guys, just hurry up and shoot this target. It's not that hard. Just get out of the way. Let me go shoot this freaking bow. Like I was chomping at the bit. And once we shot those 2 arrows, hit both of them, and it was like easy street the rest of the day. Like
Hell yeah.
super cruise control.
Is that the one we ended on, John?
Yeah,
I was nervous
just
on our
about to
second
say.
to last target. We shoot those feet right before
Mhm.
the snack stand. That's our second to last target, and our last one's the uphill owls. And I don't know why those feet should be so easy. They're literally 29 yards, but
Yeah.
every year I freak out about those damn feet. And I was like,
Every year she
nervous.
walks up and she's like, okay,
oh God,
this is my dot.
the feet.
Nobody shoot an arrow even remotely near this dot until my 2 arrows are in there. Otherwise, I'll stab you.
Yeah, like I just freak out. I don't even know. So I got the feet, and then I was like, okay, I can hit the uphill owls. Like that's fine. Then I felt better. But yeah, I don't know why I hate that target.
Did that?
I will say the one target I think that I like just got the most anxiety looking at it was those new bears that you were just talking about. I don't know why the dot looks small. It's
is
kind of got a
small.
canyon.
Tiny.
Yeah, I walked up to it and I went, well, fuck, this is something, like all the other ones felt like doable, but this one I was like, this could get a little hairy. It didn't. But
Wait, are we talking about the standing bears?
God.
Yeah, the new standing bears right before, like
get
3 before Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Target
yeah.
51.
Yeah,
Those are
maybe we'll
new?
get a neurogum. So that one is 57 yards, and so it's like almost the max
Is
distance.
it 57 or is it 50?
59.
hey guys, I can't hear
Hey.
you. I got no audio. Okay. I read that on her lips.
What'd she say?
She said, I'm going to
Rejoin?
log out and log back in.
Okay.
Told you, dude.
Oh,
Today's
dude.
been nothing but freaking snaffoos.
Nothing. Yeah, true. I wonder if I can log out, give you the reins, and then do the same thing.
We're going to mess this all up.
I know, right?
As soon as they get on my internet, it's going to fall out.
Fall out right from underneath you. How can I make Elliot the... There you are.
Hey! Who was the
Dang.
phone call?
I don't even know, like a telemarketer or something.
Aw.
Who calls at
Oh, something
8:40,
cool.
9 o'clock at night, whatever? I said to Tate, I'm like, because I just hit decline, thinking you would pop back up, and you didn't. And I was like, I should have just hit answer so I could scream at it, because who calls you that late for something stupid?
some polling
Absolutely.
place.
Anyway, those bear
Are we back
dots are.
live now?
Are they recording
We're
still?
good.
Yeah, you
Oh
guys
yeah,
hear
we're
me, right?
rocking and
Okay.
rolling.
Those bear dots are like the furthest distance on that smaller dot size. Where like the 63 canyon bears and the caribou are the next dot size up and only like
Yep.
3 yards further. So it
Yeah.
is definitely a harder target.
That was the first year, or this is the first year I've ever hit those bears.
Oh yeah.
I've 21 them every single year since they put them back in, or changed the course to where that's one of
Yeah.
the targets now. So
All that
Interesting.
Insight Metal programming is really paying off, Tate. You've come a
it's
long
her
ways.
playing it at night when I fall asleep and just listening to it, I guess.
You don't get like a live one, like an unrecorded, just like a raw, right in your ear.
That's her.
You wouldn't want me doing
Yeah.
that to him. It would be so mean. I'd be like, "You're good, but
You're a
not
little
better than
bitch.
Paige.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will never beat her again."
Yeah, exactly. She'd be talking so much shit.
I would.
Your shit's
If
all
I
out
ever
of
make one
time.
specific for him, he better listen to it first because it won't be good.
Because I'm asleep in the first 35 seconds.
Oh yeah. No, he was in a weird state this weekend. Like I was kind of same old me. I don't know. What you see is what you get normally.
Yeah.
And when he is shooting, I feel like a lot of the times, not being mean, just being honest, he seems almost like flustered or mad or like frustrated. Like, I don't know. He just is like kind of edgy. And he was like way more chill this weekend. He was like not miserable to be around. And he was just like scarily confident. He was just like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm just going to hit them all." And I'm like, "Who the F are you?" Like,
Yeah.
what? And so, yeah, he's like, "It's fine. Like, I'm good. I'm just going to hit them all." I'm like, "Okay." And then he would just hit them all. And I was like, "Okay." So it was really weird because I've never actually seen him be like that. It was like he was in a weird headspace for sure. It was just clicking.
Well, when we were driving back from Fresno, me and Dean, he was asking me, he's like, "So how do you think you shot this weekend?" I'm like, "I feel like I shot decent. Like I missed one on missed that stupid gorilla, however far that is, like 83, 82,
Oh
something
yeah,
like
with the
that.
white dot.
73.
Yeah, I friggin' didn't bubble into the hill on one and just stupid mistake missed it. And
Mhm.
then hit the 100-yarder, roll over, hit that 50-yard target or whatever right afterwards. And it's like we have the two shorties back to back.
Mhm.
Hit the first one, walk over to the second one, and forget to put my thumb on the release peg and freaking pipe one into the top of the bale and shoot a 0. So
Oh,
then I was kind of just like, whatever, this is stupid. Didn't really care, for the next
yeah.
5 or 6 targets and missed like 3 in a row. Out of the next 5 targets, I'm like, okay, like this is stupid. I need to like pull my head out of my ass. And then I missed one the rest of the weekend. So like it was like very, very good if I went to miss that one. It's like Dean was
Yeah.
like, you got this. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm gonna go clean Reading next weekend. Like it'll be easy.
But like
Mhm.
each day, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna clean it." And I was like, then he wasn't saying it like being a smart ass, like typical Tate. He just like was just like very chill, like matter of fact, like, "Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna hit them all." And I was like, "Who are you?"
I was like,
That
yeah, don't
easy.
worry about hitting them or anything. I got us.
Like it
I
was
got us. Don't
weird.
worry, I'll
And
cover
he
you.
would just step up and like shoot him and be like, "Yeah, I expected that." And just I don't know. It was really strange. Like literally, all of us were just like, "What
Who is this guy walking
possessed
on
him?"
water?
So like, yeah, it was weird. I've never seen him like that. So that was kind of crazy and cool to watch. Like I shot my best ever, which was
Yeah.
shocking. Also set the record, but like. I wasn't in any sort of headspace like that. I was just like normal archery headspace. I'm shooting.
I feel like you would have shot the same score. Like you would have shot 2 down if you'd have hit the bears.
Well, yeah, those are the other 2 I missed.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like you were shooting good enough.
Yeah,
Like
that's how
the
math
only
works.
things that you missed were because of you have to shoot janky ass setups because
Yeah,
you
it
don't get the
sucks.
bow speed.
Like the elk and
And the elk and
Bigfoot,
Bigfoot, you have to do stupid stuff. So like,
I have to run my sight like all the way in, take my light off, and then I have to put a different sight head on because it's like 40 something clicks off or some shit. So then put a different sight head on and then shoot a 2 vein. And on the elk, I can shoot my normal 4 mils, but for Bigfoot, I actually have to shoot super drive micros with 40 more grains out of the tip so I can clear that. So
Oh
like,
my
I
god.
still think you dyslexia the rangefinder on the bears.
I don't know. Maybe I set it for 57.
'Cause she was afterwards. She said she's like, I shot it for 57.8, and I'm like, you mean 58.7? Like I shot that thing for like straight up
I
59.
might have shot it for 57.
And she's like, no, like 50. I'm like, Oh, okay, that would make sense why you hit
I don't
2
know.
inches
Like
low.
I was like yay low, and I
Like,
shot.
you said that 3 times to me, and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I'm
I'm
like,
pretty sure that's what I shot it
not
for.
gonna
Like I
I'm
don't.
not gonna ask you more questions because obviously your rangefinder is way further off than I thought it was compared to mine.
Or I
Normally,
just
we're like point 0.2 or point 0.3
yeah,
apart.
or I dyslexia'd it. I don't know,
I think she did
but
that.
I shot my first one.
Hey, good for me. I beat her by 2 then.
The problem for me was I shot my first one, and it was only our second target in the morning, and I did learn that, like, I don't know, your backhand matters on that tension, and so I was, like, doing this
Can't be
weird thing
afraid.
where, like, when I'm here and I just drop my thumb straight back like this, then I'm good and I pull, but I was doing this weird thing where I was almost going like, "Ugh," like, trying to let it off, like, forward, if that makes sense, and,
Mhm.
like, slow, and whenever I did that, the bow aimed absolutely atrocious, but each morning, I was always worried about it, like, me not being fully, like, warmed up, stretched in, all the things, and not being in the flow of it yet, and that it would misfire on me, like, too fast. So I was still doing that on those bears. So I was aiming terrible, and the first arrow broke, and I was like, "No, F, it's out the bottom," like the second the bow fired. And so it hit low, and I was like, "Well, yeah, I broke it low. Like I should have missed low." So then
Mhm.
I only added like 2 comfort clicks, which is nothing. And then the second arrow actually broke good, and I was like, "Okay, that one's fine." They're like, "No, you're right next to your first one," and I was like, "What the heck?" Like that one actually broke fine. So like, it would have been backwards. Like if I'd broke a good one and it was low on the first arrow, I would have added like a crap ton for the next one. But because that was actually a bad breaking arrow, like that one did not
Yeah.
break in the middle. I didn't. But I don't know. That's archery. I
So
always say like you need to break a good first arrow so you know.
yeah, no, that's a great point. You were talking earlier about putting clicks in Tate for like the moose and whatnot. Like, how
Mhm.
often are you guys doing that? Like windage clicks?
Kinda depends on the wind, like, I just gauge it on the wind, like, how much I feel like the wind is blowing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how far the target is,
What kind of answer is
like,
that?
I don't know, it's
I
not
just
like
look at
I
the
don't have, like,
wind.
a scientific system, I don't pack a fucking
Okay, so
Kestrel with me,
no,
And
no.
just
So
like,
take
I'm
the
saying
wind.
like I didn't put windage clicks in all weekend. Didn't think to do
I
that.
don't aim off. I can't aim off, my brain wants to aim in the middle, so it's like, if I watch someone that I trust, like, say I watch her, she's a bad example because her bow's, like, 240 slow. But, like,
Oof.
say, like, my dad tells me, like, he's like, "Hey, I broke it, like, dead middle and it hit, like, right side dot."
Mhm.
I'm just gonna immediately reach down and give it, like, 2, 3 clicks to the right. Instead of try to aim left side dot, I'm gonna aim hard at the middle with, like, 3 clicks added into it because 'cause I'm still gonna be safe with that. Even if the wind completely dies,
Yeah.
I should still catch the left edge decently solid.
We don't do that on close targets because
It's only on the
usually,
far stuff.
yeah, it's not enough to like move it. Typical targets we do that on would be Bigfoot potentially, elk, moose, especially the moose, and
Buffalo.
the
Mhm.
elk and the buffalo.
And the caribou maybe on the caribou. Canyon bears, like, anything like
You-
that's, like,
yeah,
close to, like, 60 plus,
Mhm.
I would
we
potentially give it clicks.
we always do
Anything
that.
under 60, my bow, I can hold it in the middle and the dots are big enough. If it fires in the middle on a good shot on even decent amount of wind, it's still gonna catch left or right.
I'll look at
Gotcha.
the holes in the target too and just be
Mhm.
like, dang, okay, most of them are to this side. Or we watch the group in front of us and I'm just like watching their arrows track, like, and I'm like, oh, okay, like it's actually moving them or it's not moving them. Kind of see what their group does as a whole. But yeah, I don't ever go like, oh, let me just give it 7 clicks. Like that's a lot, you know. It'll
Yeah.
be like 2 or 3 comfort clicks to where if we do misread it, it's a little stronger than we think, we still have a chance to hit it. So the moose, I gave it only 3 to start, I think, and, like, I did shoot, I think, right before his arrow because I shot and had my binos up to watch his arrow hit, but
Mhm.
mine was, like, you know how they're most of them are, like, stuck the same in the target? Like, that arrow of mine was, like, absolutely sideways, like, you could literally read the label in the target, but it was
Uh,
a full shaft in at, like, 230
2 o'clock.
and but sideways and just in at 230, and I was like, "Ugh," and so I gave it 3 more clicks, shot the next one in good, and then just took the 6 clicks back out when we were walking away
gotcha.
from that target, so, yeah, I don't wanna have to aim off either, like, I can aim it off, but my problem is subconsciously because I aim like a girl, like a lot of times when my pin breaks off the middle, it's like my brain is already trying to huck it back. So
Yeah.
when I aim it off, it's like as soon as the bow fires, the micro movements, like my brain is already trying to huck it there. So then
Mhm.
it like almost reverse does it because I'm throwing it the wrong way. And I
Oh,
can't help it. It's not a conscious decision.
yeah.
It's like my subconscious just trying to save it because the pin wasn't in the middle. So I have
Mhm.
a really hard time with that. So that's why I just do the clicks.
Interesting. Do Do you guys have like a quantifiable like amount of clicks at a certain distance to inches or something?
No, I've
It's
never
all just
actually.
by
It's just
feel.
like
It's all
feel.
just
I don't
kind
know.
of just
Yeah, like,
Hmm.
like I don't know.
Kentucky windage, man.
Man, I'm gonna have to shoot with you next time so you can lick my finger and tell me what to do.
Yeah,
I
you
meant
gotta
to
let
do
us come
that.
shoot with you.
I've
Hey,
meant to sit at
we
like
were
60 or 80 and like,
we were full that year, John. Don't be
yeah.
salty.
I'm not salty. I said you should let us down. Now that
We
we're
actually,
friends.
they told us we were like full. They were like, no, you guys have the max amount of people, and I was like, okay, because we had someone else trying to get on our target, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, we had a
I
great
get
group
it.
too. Yeah, we had the
I mean,
Lynn
you
Hope.
guys could always get on like the first half of our group, like the A side, but the B side's
Yeah.
full.
You're
25
B?
B's. We're B. 25B is full. So anybody listening to this, don't
Don't
try to
even
get on. Don't even
try.
try to do it.
And if you weasel your way in, I'm kicking you out anyway.
Oh no,
so-
that's good. So we can do
not
A.
you two.
We can do
You guys
A
can
and
do A.
then
Yeah, you guys
that
can
way
do
I
A.
can reach back and be like, lick my finger, dude, I gotta shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna be waiting.
yeah, yeah. We usually watch A shoot their arrows every time, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, we had a good target. It was
How'd you
good.
guys do? How was your guys' weekend?
That was good.
John shot really good. I had a good first day.
I
I
figured
saw
Elliot
that
was
you were
good.
what? 2 down? 1 down,
One
2 down
down on the
day?
first day.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, just a dumbass shot on one of those like wolves or something like that coming back down the canyon. It was like 37 yards on a pumpkin dot and just had shit footing. And I was like, things are rolling so good, it's not even gonna matter. And it mattered.
Oh, I remember that one now. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That
But
one.
I've
yeah,
missed that target before. We almost got a
Oh,
divorce over
man.
that target before we even got married because he called my arrow out. So I know that target
Oh,
all too well.
that's the one. That's
Yeah,
the
that
one. You
was the
told
one.
me about that last weekend.
It was the wolves.
It was out.
I don't
It
know.
was
Yeah,
that.
It was out.
I'll die on that hill.
I'm sure you will.
Oh man, that's funny. He told me that story down in Fresno this past weekend or
He
2
calls
weekends ago.
way worse. Like I always say, like I need one of the girls because they would be like, dude, that's it. And, like, what are they looking at? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know. They're just calling like jerks.
That's one job I do
Whatever.
not
This
ever
year I
want.
didn't shoot any close ones. I had no.
I feel like I
so
call
it was
pretty
easy.
fair. My calls are always consistent.
If it's even close, he just calls it out. So I don't know if that's fair or not.
Put it
but
closer to the middle, and I won't have to call it out.
I did this year.
Do my job for me.
I had no calls.
Yeah, I remember that wolf target though, Elliot. That one it was the only time we shot like at the same time, and he's like one person away from me. And I'm like getting ready to drop on my second arrow, and I hear nope from Elliot. and
Involuntary
instantly,
nope.
yeah, instantly my heart goes dun, 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 dun.
You're like, "Ah, even."
Okay, now I have to put this one in. So
That was
I
stupid.
might
How did
I
you
might
guys
have
finish
karate
as a
chopped
team?
it.
4 down.
4. Yeah,
That's
4.
not bad.
Which ones did you miss?
I
John will
dropped
know.
the first one. It was the 31-yard foxes on
What
the
are you
way.
smoking? If you got a team point, you both missed it.
Yeah.
Well, it was my job to pick him up. He missed it first, and
So technically, Elliot missed it
Yeah,
first.
Elliot let you down to start. And
no, I just
Sorry,
I had told myself to let down like 3 times, and I was like, it's right there in the middle. It's gonna go. And then the moment it broke, I saw that pin go, where?
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck.
What
And I
happens?
thought it still had a chance, but then when I looked at it through the binos, I was like, no, that's just the knot kicked up. So I
Yeah.
was just being stupid, making a dumb decision, even though you know what to do. Like you're like,
Mhm.
no, I can force this, and I need to make this go
Yeah,
in
the
there
second
anyway.
you tell yourself I should probably let down, even though it looks really kick ass still, like
Mm-hmm.
You
it's
should
not
probably
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, 100%.
Like
100%.
7 out of 10 times it does not
I had
land.
100 of those arrows this week, where I'm like, I'd let down and be like, fuck, just go off. It's so good.
I actually had a couple. I probably let down, I don't know, at least 100 times this weekend, if not
Holy
more.
crap.
Like it was horrible. Yeah, the tension was like
You were way worse than I was. I wasn't that
Yeah.
bad. I had like a few like looked like I didn't know how to shoot a bow and arrow on a couple targets because I just was drawing back for fun. It seemed like,
Just
but
working out.
yeah, just pumping it up, you know.
I let down like
But
probably an average of at least once every arrow,
Oh God.
sometimes more.
Yeah.
Like I would even let down at like an 8-yarder. Like I was like it was horrible. I let down so many times, and there was one of
you
them
let
I
down on
literally
the
let
you let
down.
down on the 3-yard butterfly or the 4-yard butterfly.
I did. Like it was
Oh my God,
stupid.
you've got
I
commitment
literally
issues.
like one of them. I was so mad. I'd let down like twice already, and I literally let down and I just yelled a lot of cuss words. It was like, "Oh, fire!" Like I was so pissed, and everyone's like looking at me like, "What is wrong with you?" It's like a
4
20-yard
yards,
duck.
lady. What are we doing?
This target is 12 feet away. You suck.
No, that was on a 20-yarder, and I just could. It was a 20-yarder on the huge dot, and I just could not get it to fire. I was so frustrated. I don't know. I did. That was the most amount of letdowns. I probably let down more this year than if every other year no, not probably.
Definitely.
Absolutely. If you took every redding I've ever shot and combined the letdowns, I let down more in this one year.
Really?
It was
I
horrible.
think I let down at most twice all weekend.
If
and
I
I
didn't
think
have
maybe that's
attention,
my
I would
problem.
have done that.
I
No.
never
Yeah.
It's the tension.
I never got to a point where I had to shoot the arrow
I did.
on any letdowns. Like I fired one on my third drawback.
Yeah.
My butt was puckering. I was like, "Oh God!"
She had one the last day. We were shooting target 20.
I didn't get to the
was
last
target
one,
20.
did I?
No, it was like your third draw.
Oh,
It was
the mountain lion.
it was the mountain line, the 40-yard mountain lines. It was her second drawback. She's sitting there aiming for, freaking ever. And I'm sitting there like looking through my binos, watching. And I said, nope, let down, nope, let down, nope, let down in my mind like 10 times. And I guess I just finally said it out loud on accident. I was like, nope, let down. And then she turns
Do
out,
it.
lets down and turns around, looks at me. She's like,
I started cussing at him. I was like, "What are you doing? Say no when I'm at full draw. Don't fucking tell me what to do." It's on
I was like,
film. I'll probably
"Oh."
post it.
Oops, I guess I said it out loud.
And my
My
mom
bad.
said she was saying the same thing in her head. And when I turned around and started yelling, because it was literally like the second he said it, it was like I bailed out and like spun into the same. I was already yelling at him before I even was let down.
And I didn't know because if she was yelling at her mom or yelling at me, if her mom
Yeah.
said it or if I said it, because we were standing right next to each other. And
My
I'm like,
mom's like, "Did I say that out loud?"
"Did I say that? 'Cause I don't know. I didn't even know I said it."
Yeah, that was if I didn't fire when it fired, then the next one would have been my last letdown.
Yeah.
And I was not having it.
God
But I
dang.
swear, like the resistance is just not consistent because there's sometimes, like I said, you barely even try and it fires and it's so effortless. And there's other times where it's like I'm pulling so hard you can see me physically shaking trying to get through it and it just will not freaking fire. Like and it's like one arrow every random amount of targets, that happens. And I'm like, something is wrong with this thing. And then every single time the next arrow I draw back and you're like gassed and it's just like, beep, and it fires like no problem. I'm like, that thing's so dumb. So that's the hard part about a resistance is like you have to be so patient because it's got a mind of its own.
Mhm.
Hopefully someone will make a better one here soon, but until they do, they have a mind of their own.
Tate, when did you get on the resistance?
First,
Uh,
before me.
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's why I did it.
it was like, I got one. I bought one. I bought an on. I bought my first, like the Onyx that I shoot still now. Like I bought that like 4 years ago, just like dicking around, I'm like, I need one for practice.
Yeah.
Just to kind of mess around, play around, like whatever. It was like nothing else was consistent. I didn't like the handle shape of anything else. And like that was the only one that was like consistent plus had like a comfortable handle that I could find at the time. So then I bought it and then playing around with it. Never really shot it that much. And then like indoors, I played around with it a little bit indoors last year again. And then I shot like one day in Vegas with it last year. And then shot a button and then a hinge. And then I was like playing around with buttons and hinges and shot a button in Reading last year. And then we went and shot the Oregon Safari last year over 4th of July weekend. That was like, I took that and the resistance and a hinge with me and we were on the practice range and I got like the yips in the practice range. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. So I guess we're shooting the resistance all weekend. So then I just put the resistance left it in the hotel room. So I didn't even, or the hinge in the hotel room. So I had no chance of shooting anything else. All I had was a resistance in my release pouch. So I couldn't, there was no like backup plan.
commitment.
It was like your full commit. Yeah. And that was, you can ask Greg or Bodie because they were that was literally the longest and the most anybody has ever drawn back on a 60 arrow course, 60 target course. I guarantee you, I let every single arrow down at least twice, if not 3 times. And the majority of them had to go on the fourth drawback all weekend long. It was the most miserable shooting I've ever been through.
Greg did call me and say, I've never seen someone work so hard to shoot that many arrows. Like, it was painful to watch.
It was
but
brutal.
yeah, you kind of been committed to it since then.
And then after that, it was like I kind of like learned how to shoot and learned how to keep my pressures consistent. And it's been like, I mean, way easier since, I mean, shot it in Vegas. It was shot 900 in Vegas with one, which I thought was kind of crazy.
Haven't heard that before.
And then, oh, shut up,
Times.
whatever. And then shooting it outdoors, like the wind, it can be a little tricky in the wind because you don't know when it's gonna break.
Yeah.
But I mean, I aim it better than a hinge even in practice. It's weird. Like
Too.
for whatever reason, it makes me engage the bow a different way than I do a hinge or a button. And I'm way more still. My pin sits way better. I feel like I shoot it better. Like I actually really enjoy shooting it,
I do too, actually.
even though like it seems like taboo. It's kind of like punchers back in the day. Everybody thought punching was
Yeah.
bad. Now everybody kicks everybody's ass that punches. So it's like I don't know what's wrong with them. Like I will say the one negative to them is they don't fire consistently 100%
Like,
of the time.
they're not
Like,
made good enough
if
yet.
they were 100% reliable and consistent, like, and they fired exactly the same every single time, like, I don't see why they couldn't be one of the most accurate releases out
Yeah,
there.
except in wind.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like,
Like,
wind.
the reason we're both on them is we both have the exact identical target panic, basically. And so he'd had that for a lot longer and had a really crappy time explaining it. Like, I don't know, he never put it in the way that it made sense to me until I got it. And then I could put it into words and explain it. And then he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I have. And I'm like, what? Like, why didn't you say that? So I understand now, like, where he's coming from, because the nice part is, like, once you have that and you're trying to work through it and beat it, every time you draw your bow back, which is the exact wrong thing to do or think, but you think like, oh God, I hope I don't do that on this arrow. Like, I hope
Mhm.
I don't have target panic, which you should not be thinking. But you do. And the nice part is, like, on the tension, you can't cheat it. Like, you have to do it right. And so
Mhm.
you never have that thought. You never have the anticipation. You never have a worry or like a question. And so it is like the most calming thing I've probably ever shot. And I haven't had, other than Vegas, probably like true tournament nerves in like the last 2 years, but I was fighting that kind of target panic where I was like nervous that the target panic would hit, if that makes sense. Not nervous
Mhm.
about shooting the tournament or the arrows. And so it's funny because shooting the resistance, like I was pretty frustrated with it last year. And like I shot every release True Ball made, I think, last year in every tournament. Like when he said he was switching releases, it's because you're looking for a band-aid that doesn't
Yeah.
work with this type, essentially. And so I was doing all this stuff and it didn't work. And then I started the tension early this indoor season, but I really thought like I could fix it way faster. So I shot like one tournament with it and then went to Lancaster and shot my hinge again. It was actually really good there, but then shot USA Indoor Nationals the next weekend on that little tiny, tiny 10 target. And Bruce lied
Mhm.
and told me they were going to use the one with the Vegas 10, which I can aim at. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then we didn't. And so that totally effed up my brain, and then all of a sudden I had the same issue again. So then I like went back to it for the next few tournaments, and I will say like I just feel so much more relaxed and confident and comfortable when I'm shooting it right now than anything else. But the FIDAs, I pretty much am just saying like I'm not shooting the tension because it's so windy. I don't know how you can typically.
Mhm.
So like my next tournament is a FIDA. It's the Salt Lake USAT. And so I'm like, okay, let's see where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like we'll gauge if I'm fixed or not fixed. But I didn't shoot it at the Mexico City World Cup. And I was like, yep, nope, I'm still left up. Time to go back to the tension. Because my plan was to only shoot it for some indoors and never shoot it outside. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm still not where I need to be. Like, I'm still scoring higher with the tension, even though it jacks up than I
Mhm.
am on anything else because I miss arrows because of it's like a freezing type target panic. So it's like you don't have it in practice ever. So you can't just practice arrows and fix it. It's only in tournaments and they say go and I just sit there and do nothing. And then when you do nothing long enough, then you're like, okay, I have to make this go. So then you learn to cheat the system. but it's like I still have the control where you're not just like uncontrollably punching. Like it's never that. It's like I just do nothing, try to shoot at back tension, and then after I've held it long enough or let down a few times and then still held it long enough that it's not going, then it's like, okay, well, guess I'm gonna have to punch this, and I commit to it and consciously decide to punch it. So it's like a really weird thing, but with the tension or the resistance, it's like if you don't pull, if you don't push pull, it literally you'll never fire one, and there is no way to cheat it. So
It
you
just
just
forces
do it.
you to go
Yeah,
all the time.
like
Like
it makes you do it right.
that's a cool thing. That's what I like about it. I mean, it's because I would for so like I aimed so good for so many years. I don't aim nearly as good as I used to anymore. But like I would like forget to pull. Like I would just aim, and the pin would just sit there, and I would just like watch
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna go off eventually." But when I would get nervous, I would quit pulling and just aim, and it aimed really, really good. And by the time it actually fired, my shot had broken down enough that the movement of the pin is what fired the bow, rather than me firing it when I should have fired it probably
Right.
3 to 4 seconds prior. And then those are the times you miss when the bow fires your shot for you on a movement.
It doesn't
Yeah.
seem natural to
So
move anything when you're in the middle, right? Like
yeah,
it seems
Yeah.
pretty. It makes sense to just lock the hell up because you've got it where you want it. Do
Yeah.
you guys do you set your bows up any certain way so that it holds where it needs to as you're adding all that extra on the back end? Run like cams at a time a little bit, squishing up the back wall or anything?
since I've shot since I haven't shot a Hoyt for like 4 years, I shot spiral cams then. Like I always ran the top cam way ahead. Like I would shoot them almost a half inch ahead on the Hoyt
Oh
on
my
the
god.
spiral cams.
It
But
wasn't that much.
it was pretty close to that, yeah. On the last couple bows it was.
Okay.
It was way like that, like it was a lot. Um and then on like the bowtechs now I'm running, if I try to run them, they aim really, really good if I do them top cam just a little bit behind like she does on most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I get a really big low bob every now and then out of the bow with it. It'll sit phenomenal for, you know, half of my shots, and then the other 50% of them aim really good, but you'll get a weird random dip that you can't control. It's like not predictable. So
Mm-hmm.
I put everything back to dead even. I pull them top cam ahead, and it just kind of like it has too much movement in it for me. It just kind of too much erratic movement for me personally. But I like the binary cams to be dead even.
I run them
Gotcha.
all offset, but every single bow is different. So
Mm-hmm.
like I test it every single time. I start with them even, and then I go like one twist where the top's ahead, another twist. So I had a full twist at that point. So a half, a full, and then one and a half. Then I put it back to even, and then do it the opposite for the bottom to be ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and just pick what it wants. Like most of the bow techs, I run bottom cam hitting ahead, and that is good. But I have one bow, like that tan bow I shot all last year, my ASA bow this year, likes to be top ahead. So I don't ever think like, oh, this is how I run them. I just think of it like I'm gonna give the bow what it wants, and I just test it. But yeah, I don't think I've ever ran a bow tech with them dead even.
Do you That's wild. Is that
Yeah.
something to do with maybe the way you've got like the limbs oriented or something?
Could be. I mean, I like will tiller tune and stuff as well, and that can change stuff. But I mean, I run way more weight on my bow than he
Most.
does, and like that changes things. Like our grip is significantly different. Like significantly different. Like I have a really like my wrist locks like straight up 90-degree back, and like his does not.
You don't climb all the way up into the grip either, though. Like you
I
hold
don't
just
stay
like a
low.
little bit lower on the grip, where I go all the way up against as
Like
tight to
like
the throat
he
as I can
mashes
get.
this part against the grip, and like my wrist is locked back so much that I use like this part of my hand on like
Mm-hmm.
the shelf side of the grip, but I have a gap right here from the top of the grip,
Yes.
which I don't recommend, but that's what I do. So
When when I shot the 38 really, really well, that's exactly what I was doing. There was a gap. I was not all the way up into the throat at all. And
Mhm.
I
I
ran that
like
thing
it.
as vertical as I freaking could.
It's because, like, they're more of a center height grip, and
Mm-hmm.
so when you're running up, it is, like, center, so as I drop my hand down a little bit, it's essentially giving it the illusion of, like, a little bit of a low grip, which, in my opinion, aims better, and so that's the only reason I do it. If I let my hand slide all the way up, I start getting wicked dips, and then I,
Mm-hmm.
like, use my finger as the stopping point, and the dips are gone, so I mean, and I put a ton of pressure on the inside because my joints bend so much. Like I push over here and he's pushing over here on the other side of the grip. So like we just are totally backwards of each other when it comes to that stuff. So
My bow still only has 3G. Hers has 5.
yeah. He makes fun of my wide bar. Yeah.
It's like telemetry out there.
I
Yeah.
actually
Beep, 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 beep.
I love that wide bar though. Like I really do. For V bars, it's nicer even just to fit in the stabilizers. It's like really nice. But
Really?
I can't run V bars. Like I've tried, and I get the bow to aim really, really good. Like from like a non-floaty perspective.
I
Like
can't
it
see
doesn't
your hand.
it doesn't like tip side to side
Uh-huh.
very bad. But dude, that thing just wants to float everywhere and anywhere on its own. I can't keep it in the middle. Where if I run a single bar with bias into the system,
Mhm.
I feel like that's what I need for the way I push and pull into the bow to get it to aim center where she aims.
Like if I had
Like
bias, I would miss like 40 points. Like I cannot. I want neutral. So yeah, we do everything literally the exact opposite, which is weird.
I ran V
Interesting.
bars forever and for a long time, and then last year I started running single bar and just adding that bias in there, and I really like it.
Yeah. Same.
Driving that hand in there,
uh-huh.
but I've run mine pretty far out, so I can run less out the back, less gross weight, but also get the push that I need on it to get it to hold.
Yeah, that's fair.
You like the new grip?
Huh?
Tate. We know that there's something coming. They let the cat out of the bag. You don't
I
gotta.
do.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I let the cat out of the bag, definitely.
I know.
I just posted a picture of him shooting it today.
Oh, I
Like
saw.
but the bow's behind a tree. And I was like, oh, just wait. All your dealers are gonna be calling you now. Like, Tate, what
Mhm.
is it? Tell me all the details. And he can't tell them yet. So I think
Yeah,
that's really
oak tree.
funny.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
we got the new tree bark camo on it.
Yep.
It's pretty
Yeah.
slick.
I wanted to.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's
I
a
good.
think I even
sneak peek.
You want to give him a sneak peek?
I don't
give
know
us a
if I
sneak peek,
can.
Tate.
I don't
Just
know.
a little bit, just the tip.
Just a taste.
You want
That's it.
you want a little sneak peek?
Just
Yeah.
a little sneak peek.
All right,
Come
I'll
on.
give you a sneak peek.
Oh shit.
Well, he actually grabbed it.
You ready to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? There's a stabilizer. Okay.
Not that
What are you
tip.
doing? There it was.
Damn streaker.
Oh, that's hilarious. At least he had his pants on. That's a win. Oh yeah.
Oh
No,
man, that would have been
it's really
hilarious.
good.
God
Bowtech
dang
was
it.
actually at our house the last 2 days. They stayed after Reading,
Mhm.
and we did like a ton of testing and filming. I'm sorry. Highlight on the after hours. I can't quit going. But yeah, no, it was really good. Like we at all the other times when we were doing product testing, it was like, okay, we need to change this and let's fix that. And we like had suggestions, and this one we're like, nailed it, like stamp of approval, it's good to go. So that was
No
pretty
kidding.
cool. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we were pretty excited. I think they were probably pretty excited too. But yeah, it was good. I don't even know how many arrows I shot out of that thing in the last 2 days, but it was
A
a
lot.
lot. Like it was a lot of arrows. But
And it just seemed like easy.
yeah, it aims better. I can tell you
Really?
that. Like so much better. It's stupid.
Is it a you think it's a cam thing, a riser thing, limb thing, all of it?
Literally
It's a
everything thing.
everything thing.
That's cool,
Like
I guess.
people keep asking me if the zebra bow that I'm shooting is the new bow. And I'm like, no. Like they keep thinking like I did a weird color so you won't notice or something.
Oh,
And I'm like, no. Like when you see the new one, you will know. Like it looks nothing. It's not a Gen 3. Like it's a whole new bow and everything is different. So
really?
It's pretty sweet. It shoots phenomenal too. Like
yeah, like it actually exceeded all of my expectations. Like there's nothing there that I was like, God, I wish we did this different, or like this could have been better or different. Like
Mhm.
it's just good, which hasn't happened, even on the Gen 2. Like I'm trying to think back, and I remember there was different stuff where it was like, no, like we got to do this and we got to change that. And you're like, well, okay, it's real close, but like there's a few little things that we would have liked to change. And honestly, this one, it's great. So that's pretty cool.
Can you is there anything you can say about it? Axle to axle, any of that shit yet?
No, they still have us on lockdown for that.
Yeah.
Like telling people it aims better, I feel like is like that doesn't really tell them anything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's got deadlock.
yeah, it's got
Good.
talent. Ooh,
Good. I
shocker.
like that a lot.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like looking at it right now. No, it's Yeah,
lucky.
it's all new. It's all new. It's all different, but really, really good. I think doing the product testing side of stuff, engineers can draw stuff up in the computer and
Mhm.
it's like, okay, it looks good, it should be good, but it's a whole different ballgame when you actually get to test it. And one pretty cool thing is like I've been doing some testing stuff with them for the last 2 years at least.
Mhm.
Leading into this bow, like before they even built this bow, just trying to give us an idea of like direction that we wanted to go and some of the things that we wanted to change. And so it's kinda cool because when they first made it, I think it was already, like, further along than what it normally would have been from the testing that we'd done.
Mhm.
Just playing around with everything bowtech had at the factory, you know what I mean? Like, doing
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff, it was pretty cool. And so, I mean, there was nothing, I don't think, like, too crazy. And obviously, as soon as it launches, then we'll be able to tell people, like, "Here's what we changed," we just filmed some stuff last night talking about, like, in the first rev of it, in the second rendition, in the third rendition, talking about, like, what we changed each time and why, and then how it made it better. Um, but basically, we got to the point where it was like, I'm out of suggestions. Like,
Yeah, there's
it's
really
it's so
nothing
good, I don't know now. There's nothing more I had.
nothing more that needs to be done or could really be done on it, I don't think, from really any perspective of the bow, aiming, tuning, shooting, forgiveness standpoint.
I'm gonna be
Jesus.
shocked if people shoot it and they have something to complain about.
I didn't do anything to
How
this
long have
bow
you been
at all
around?
other than pull it out of the box,
How long have
throw
you had it?
stabilizers on it, and shoot it, and
No,
it
I
was
said,
drooping
how long
phenomenal.
have you been around? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
people find something to complain about no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
what it
No,
is.
I mean, I get that, but, like, I'm probably one of the first ones to find something to complain about, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's no secret, I've said, like, my Gen 2 doesn't aim well for me. Like, that's and it doesn't aim well for a lot of people. It's the most forgiving bow I've ever shot. Like, it can aim not great, and it still hits the middle, so as long as you can keep pulling through the aim, like, it's totally fine.
Mhm.
But how I shoot and the back wall's really hard, all the things I had custom stops made to soften the back wall up so it fits me better, like, there's things like that where it was like, I was like, it's a really good bow, but I still had to do little things to it to like make it work better for me personally. And this one, truly, like, I don't know what people are going to come up with. Like, I don't know what they could complain about. So, like, I'm curious to actually see if they come up with stuff like to be determined, right? But like, it is like it has everything it needs to have, like, and it does everything it needs to do.
God,
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
good to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm, like, so excited. I'm like, "So when can I start shooting this?" Because
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
I
I'm
need
literally
it.
it's right here. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Can I take it to the next one? Can I take it to the next" it's like, "Alright, tell me when." Like, "Put me in, coach." Like, I'm
Is
ready,
it
but
is it like fully is it fully done with logos and shit and everything? Damn.
yeah,
She's ready to play.
yeah,
God dang it.
yeah, it's
Well,
ready
that's
to go.
cool. Is there a
Didn't you just
date?
see it, Elliot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
he's
something.
Did you guys not look? Like,
Somebody's
I
gonna
mean,
screenshot that. Somebody's gonna see this and they're gonna try to slow it down and screen grab something out of
they
there.
are.
oh,
Yeah,
I promise. Yeah, I can guarantee they are.
yeah.
Could you see anything on?
I don't think so. I
I
just
don't
saw a
think so.
blur.
Yeah, I
I don't
saw
know.
a
I
red
just ran
blur.
through holding that thing like a baby, just run through as fast as I can.
Oh
Yeah,
man, if you had fallen with that, I would have laughed so
I
hard.
would have laughed really hard too.
I wouldn't because the only thing to trip over is a giraffe or a red stag, and I'd
If
get
he trips
shot.
either of those, I'm gonna be mad. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's good. Like the Gen 2's been out obviously long enough that it's exciting to have something new coming, but also like, how do I say this nicely? Like a lot of companies launch bows all the time and
Yeah,
it's like, it's a new bow. And you're
This
like,
is
okay,
truly a
what's
new bow.
what's different? Like what did you improve or what did you change or what and it's like, it's a new bow, you know what I mean?
yeah. Our
And a
cable
lot of the
rod was like
times
this, and now it's like this.
yeah. And a lot of the times too, some of the new stuff that they will do doesn't actually
Improve
make things
anything?
better, if that makes sense. And so with this one, it's like everything is new and improved and better. And like for actual reasons that we tested, like it all makes sense. And it kind of follows the line of like what Bowtech's known for with like some new innovation. That's pretty
Mhm.
exciting also. Like not like same old stuff made better, but there's some new stuff too, which is really cool. And so yeah, it's gonna be a hit. Like for sure. I can't wait.
Me
Awesome.
either. Is there
Well,
a
Yeah.
I
date
I
or month?
wanted to
Go ahead.
get into a question before we went too far off topic, but it's been since. I was gonna say, so a lot of people ask me, um, and I'm definitely not like the best person to be answering the question, but like, oh man, how do I break 1500 at Reading? Like, what are the things that I'm missing? You know, I'm just right there, 1497. And I just feel like, you know, I can't figure out what I'm doing or what I need to focus on, you know, outside of tuning and making sure your bow shoots good decently. Um, course management. What would you recommend for people that are going to Reading, um, to either prepare for or analyze in their shooting and anticipation for shooting 70 targets between 3 yards and 101?
I think the biggest two things that I would say is your sight tape has to be perfect. Like you're gonna lose more points off of your sight tape being incorrect than anything else. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that are new to the field game, the trail game, whatever you want to call it, um, they're running these pre-made done up sight tapes, you know, that are just generic sight tapes. They're not custom built sight tapes to their draw length, their peep sight height, their arrow weight, their bow speed, all the other jazz and things like that. And then two, like know how to level your sight. Like actually, like there's so many different videos out there. Like Paige has a bunch of different videos out there on how to like actually level your sight and like get your sight leveled perfect to you. Don't just rely on a jig to say everything's leveled and put it on your bow, then go out there and shoot the first uphill target, miss 6 inches to the left, and then be scratching your head like, well, my sight's level. Why did I just
Yeah.
miss? Right. So like those are the two biggest things that I would say are like the two biggest factors on setting yourself up for success prior to showing up at the tournament.
So those are good. I actually have a completely different answer. So you piece the two together, it's going to be a good one. Is assuming they do all of that stuff right, anyone who's on that 1500 bubble is missing a lot of stupid targets and stupid points. Like there's not 40 hard targets out there that like are justifiably missable out of the 70. There's a lot of 20, 30 yarders with pumpkin dots and like all those birdies and stuff like that. Like the birdies get hard, those 19-yard dots on the small thing. Like, yeah, it's not easy, but you shouldn't really miss them. And so my best advice would be you need to focus and put the same amount of effort in on every single freaking target. Like, I don't care if you walk up to a 20-yard pumpkin dot, more people like who are on that 1500 cusp miss stupid points like that because they go, oh, this is an easy one. And that's when they overhold and they do things like, oh, I don't really need to let down. It's fine. The dot's big. I'm still aiming okay. And then they miss. And so, you know, we approach it definitely like every target obviously scores the same and is equally as important. They all deserve 100% amount of effort or like amount of good, clean shot quality. And so for anybody who's doing that, it's like, it's a whole different ballgame if you said, how do I shoot a 1535, right? Then the answers
Yeah.
get way more technical
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, that's a whole different ballgame. But to shoot a 1500, it's like you could 20 the elk, 20 Bigfoot, 20 the moose, 20 the buffalo, 20 the candy bears, 20 the new bears, and you're still nowhere near 1500. So when you look at it, it's like you could literally still suck total butt at the far ones. And as long as you quit
Still have
giving up the
20,
stupid
24
ones,
points to play
you're
with.
fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like do not do dumb stuff on the easy targets. Like none of them are easy. Like you all have to every shot needs to be good on every single target, regardless of the distance or the dot size. And if they could clean that stuff up, then I think they'd hit their goal.
Like I try to hit the scribe on every single target. Like I try to put my arrow dead center middle on every single target. I don't care if it's 3 yards or to Bigfoot at 101 yards. Like my aiming focus is the exact same every single time. I stare at the dead center middle of the dot and try to put my arrow in the middle.
Yeah, aim small, miss small is definitely a thing. And the Reading dots don't really encourage that per se. Like if you shoot field and then you go over to Reading, like we score the X as a 6 in field. So, you know, you're shooting something like this size instead of something this size. And so I think at Reading, a lot of people have that false confidence of like, it's a big dot, it's fine, it's aiming okay, like it's still gonna hit. And then all of a sudden it doesn't hit. And we're all guilty of that. Like even at our level, you know, we'll do that stuff occasionally. And so, and you do it and you're like, why did I do that? And then we won't do it again in the same weekend, right? But
Well, I
going to-
used to always shoot a 19 thou fiber for outdoors, like for Reading. And this year I changed it up a little bit and I went to a 29 thousandths.
that's what I shoot.
So it made the dot seem smaller. So I had to aim harder at it. So like I didn't have as much float for my pin inside the dot. that I normally would see. Like there wasn't as much orange around my pin fiber.
Okay.
What?
So like it made me focus a little bit harder and aim a little bit tighter.
Sure. What power is that with?
I run a 6 power and I run my sight. I run a
What's your
short
sight?
bar. My sight length is,
That's
I
what
don't know.
matters.
Let me look.
So I run an 8 with a 29, and my sight length normally was like 33 and a half almost.
Holy
But
crap.
I got a stronger lens, that new,
My sight length is 29 inches
yeah.
Jeez.
My sight length is still like 30 and a half.
because I run my
31.
scope in like 4 holes from the end of the bar. So I'm like right in the center of a 6-inch bar.
Yeah.
Is that for
Mine's
torque tuning, or is that
31.
just you like it there?
That's just where I like my sight picture at.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I pick my sight always off the sight picture, clarity, magnification, what works with my clarifier and all that.
I normally run it probably like 1 or 2 more holes out, but it was just a little bit too much because I don't run a clarifier, and I was starting
Mhm.
like the target was just a little fuzzy, so I ran it in 2 more holes, and then I have a crystal clear pin and target with no clarifier now with a 6
Gotcha.
power lens.
That's insane. I wish I had that. I actually ran the stack at Beep this weekend stacked. So clarifier and a verifier. Um, and I know a lot of people were really worried about that. They're like, oh, are you going to get lefts and rights? And how's it going to be? And like, if this isn't the proof that it's fine, then I don't really know what is, because it's
Yeah.
like you're shooting all the directions with all the different light, you know? But no, it was good. But yeah, I I like the dot looking big. Like for
Oh
me,
yeah.
everyone's like, you're insane that you shoot an 8, but when I draw back and the dot looks like a basketball and I can aim, and like when I shot like the 4-yarder, I drew back and I started laughing at full draw, and everyone's like kind of looking at me, and I shot him like my entire scope was orange. Like
Yeah.
like it's not until I get to like 15 yards that I like really see around those little dots, right? So it's like it looks so easy. Yes, I see the movement, but like it looks so big that I'm like, I can hit this. When I draw his bow back, I'm like, they all look like they're 100 yards. Like, how the hell do
Right.
you hit anything? So everyone's brains are different. I think it's just important that you figure out what your brain is going to resonate best with from an aiming and an execution standpoint, because sight picture drastically can affect your execution as well.
Oh
So
yeah. It could just give you that, like when it, like you said, when it's so big, it looks like, how could I even fuck this up? Like that's confidence, and you'll shoot a better, stronger shot with that mentality. Now, if it's all over the damn place, that's a problem. And that's
yeah,
how it was. Like when I first put an 8 in, I was like, "There's no way!" Like, but it teaches you. It zooms in on your hold and makes you make a little adjustments. And once you get it to hold, like I don't know how much further back I'd be willing to go. I like the 7 just for a clarity thing, but
mhm,
like you said, like when you can swim in it comfortably, that's my biggest thing is being not timid in the shot, and that helps a lot. That visual.
yeah. No, it
Yeah.
definitely does. Like it's I don't know, everyone's different. Like I know everyone gives me
Yeah,
crap for shooting the 8 all the time, but
it's because
like
they haven't got
when
their
I
hold
shoot
better.
yeah, like when I shoot smaller powers, like man, I suck. And I actually aim better with the 8 as well. Like it not at the very first day, right? But like
Yeah.
my mind, body, brain, like everything slows it down to where I'm aiming the 8 just as still as I would aim like a 6 or a 5. And so if I can do that, then I am aiming better in the long run. Where Sophia Field's coming up, we have like team trials and our nationals for USA Archery. And for the little unknown part of that, like I have to shoot a different power scope. I shoot a 5, and it's the only day of the year I don't shoot an 8. And so I shoot that for like a week leading up to the tournament practicing. And then the next day, I switch right back to the 8 after shooting a 5 for like a week. And I've never aimed worse
Really.
because with the 5, I'm just so lazy and I can't see how bad it actually is. So I'm actually having more movement, but it's just like, you don't really see it. So it's the optical illusion. Like you think you're good, but you're not. I put the 8 right back in, like back to back, and it's like, oh my God, what is happening? Now, I didn't change anything on my bars or my drawings or my peep height. Like I didn't change anything to make it aim better or worse. It's just how my brain saw it. So then all of a sudden I start seeing all that movement, and within 2 to 3 days, I have it slowed back down to where it looks just like the 5 did. So,
Mhm.
not everyone's going to have the same experience with that I do, but like I confidently can say like I'm better with an 8. Like I have no doubt. I'd shoot a 10 if I could clear it up. I just can't.
I didn't even know they made one.
Yeah, they do.
It
Have
reverses
I've never seen it clear enough to know if it flips. To
It
be
like
honest.
it flips
It
your
inverts the
it
image.
inverts the image. So we were Aaron Tedford back in the day used to run. He ran like a 12 power for indoors one year, and he's like, "Here, shoot this." And I drew his bow back, and to go up, you had to move the bow down
What?
It
because
inverts
it
the
inverts the power in your image.
like it's so strong, like your brain like f's it up and flips it
You actually see it how your eyes normally see it.
or something. It's weird.
Like
That's
it's
insane.
weird.
I've
sounds
never seen that
terrifying.
personally.
It was
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, no, thanks. This is
Dude, how could
creepy.
you find your target with a 12 at Vegas?
Oh, dude, I have a hard time. Like the scariest targets for me in Reading are those stupid like 17, 18, 16-yard targets, like those squirrels or the skunks,
Yeah.
or like I shoot my first one in there, and I never shoot the same dot because I always shoot the second dot on the same body because I've had kiss outs and like glance outs on those
Yeah.
small ones before. So I always shoot the other dot in the body, and because I'm not aiming at the same dot, I often like catch myself. God, am I aiming
Checking.
at the right dot? Shit, and I like have to like pause my shot, either like let down and then relook, or put my thumb back on the safety and then move my pin back over the other dot to make sure my knock is in the target.
Yeah.
So
Same
it's like
animal.
those targets are like they just cause me so much anxiety. Like
I
the
always
easiest
shoot the
targets on the
same
course,
dot.
and I like
Yep.
they scare the shit out of me because I'm so paranoid to shoot like do something stupid and shoot a 0 on a target
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
never
always-
worry about setting my sight wrong or anything like that's always like totally fine. Not saying I've never done it or won't ever do it. Like
All done it.
we've all done it, it's all
Yeah.
happened, but that's not something like I think about in the back of my mind. Like I step up to one of them little like targets like right after Bigfoot, the little feet where it's got the 3 dots on there, and I'm like, oh God, am I aiming at the right one on the second arrow? Or like the skunks down the road a little bit more, you're like, oh shit, it's like 18
Mhm.
yards. There's a sea of black skunks on the wall
Yep.
with little tiny orange dots on them.
Where's my arrow?
You know, another thing with the like, hey, the 1500 shooters, what advice would you give them? Don't misset your sight. Like if you go through a lot of those
That's-
people,
yeah.
you'll literally hear them be like, man. And if you shoot a 0, obviously that's a lot of points, but they'll be like, I shot an 8 because it's like, well, there's 3 points right there, you know?
Mhm.
I run a double check system, so I hopefully don't misset my sight. So I have my sight marks, but I also keep a sight tape on my bow. And I
Yep.
don't set it off the sight tape, but I set it on the sight marks and then I glance over at the sight tape and make
Yep.
sure that it's good. What's really funny is anytime I've ever misset my sight, which I've done at Reading before in the past, it's like I have a total brain shit storm to where I said it wrong and I also didn't check, the other side. So it's like whatever I was doing in that moment, like I was just so spacey that I just like I still do it wrong even with like a double check system. But truly, if you actually remember to do the double check every time, you should never misset your sight. And
Yeah.
so there's a really easy way with the way the sights are made to do that and make sure that you're not missetting your sight. So
Mhm.
whenever people do that, and some people do it multiple times in a weekend, and I'm like, dude,
Somebody's
do
got
a double
PTSD.
check. Like, yeah, like you're the problem here. Like, there's no excuse at
If
that
I
point.
run off of like a marked scale like she does off the other side of your sight, I'll misset my sight every single tournament. Like I don't know why or what. Like I just that's not my brain does not like that. My brain likes a hard tape, and I set my sight off of the sight tape every single time. If it's a half
Interesting.
yard, I move it till I'll like click it in between the lines, and like I'll be like within 1 or 2 clicks of or 1 click off of the whatever the number is on half, right? Because you can see in between the sight tapes.
Yeah.
But like I never set it off the scale. The only thing I set it off the scale is for like 15 yards and in, and then my close marks because it gets so tight in the sight tapes you
Yeah.
can't see where you're setting. Really, I mean, 13 to 17 yards is like 5 clicks on my sight tape, so it's not like it really matters.
Yeah.
But I still always anything like 15 and in, anything under 20, I set it off of the scale just because it's all the sight tapes close enough. But then I still have the sight tape to check. But
And
Mhm.
I'm so psychotic. I run my sight marks now because precision cut allows you to do it in like quarter yards. And
Mhm.
so, like, I want to know that my sight is set to the exact click because how many times do you miss one and it's an arrow call or it's like this far out and you're like, well, you look at your sight, you were 2 clicks off. Looking at the sight tape, that would have made you hit that. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm so OCD that I like the sight marks because I know it is literally exact. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing else I could have done to give myself a better chance at hitting the middle.
I like to
Yep.
I get to the target, I look at what it says on the stake, turn the bow over, click it to the sight tape, and
I do
then
that.
I'll range it, and then I'll do the marks from there.
That's kind of what I did this weekend too. Because redding, I'm more apt to forget to set it because you sit on the stake sometimes so long before you
Yep.
shoot. So a lot of the times, I mean, we have the
Our
course
whole
member.
did that this year, and it was weird. Like we've never done that before. Like I've never noticed it. Like
Yeah,
I've never done it. Like I was like the group babysitter
we'd be like,
all
next
weekend.
target's 43.
I'd be walking up to the next target, like clicking my sight, and I'd be like, "Hey, everybody, 43 yards, set your sight to at least like you'll be in the 10 ring." You know, it's
Yeah.
like I don't ever remember our group like doing
Yeah, I
that.
don't
Like
know
this year, we were all like
why, and nobody
on
misset it
top
to
of
where
it.
we got paranoid. I don't know where
No,
that came
it's
from
just
either.
kind
But
of one of
every
those
time I was
things.
walking, like when I walked up to a target, or sometimes I would shoot and I'd still be on that same target, and I would just like run my sight down close-ish to where the next one was, type thing.
Mhm.
I've never done that before either, but I did.
We've shot it enough now. It's like I can pretty much go through
You
yard
know the
the
distances
target by
within that
yard on
ring.
every single target pretty much
Yeah,
Yeah.
now. So
that is weird. I never realized that.
yeah, I
we
was
did that,
I
but
was
we
setting
did
my sight like
almost a
for the
target.
sight ahead every single time. Like half the time, like you said, like we shot the white goats target one. It's like they're 50 yards. I came off of the 18-yard target, walking through the parking lot, clicking my sight to 50 yards already because I knew what it was.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
and it's like shoot those 2 arrows, and I'm walking up to the target and setting my sight to
Run it.
77.
Yeah,
Then we get to the
Mhm.
next target. It's like setting my sight for 15 and
yeah.
setting my sight for 25.
We
It's
didn't
like
know. Yeah, that's weird.
every single target it was like a full target ahead. It was
But
weird.
Reading is the one place I'd recommend doing that though, because like I
Yeah.
said, you get to a stake and you sit there for 10 minutes and then you all of a sudden get up and you think you've been there a long time. You probably did it and you haven't done it yet. And
Mhm.
so I know I've heard a lot of people be like, I sat there for so long, I forgot. And
It's hard enough because you sit there and you get like you stove up, you know, and you get stiff and tired and cold, and your muscles
yeah, but your
aren't
brain
ready to go,
also, like when we're
you
sitting,
just like kind of veg out.
we're
Yeah.
BSing about anything but shooting that tournament. So it's also like you're mentally not in the tournament while you're sitting there waiting. You know, you're talking
Yeah.
about hunting, you're talking about anything else. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're up. Time to focus again. So
Yeah.
yeah, not a
Yeah.
bad thing, I guess.
We walked up to those bears on the canyon, coming into the canyon before your Wounded Knee Bridge, and I walked straight up to the stake, and it was backed up. People were at the target, so I walked straight up to the stake, and I was standing in front of it, and I'm setting the sight, looking down, and then I pull out my marks. I'm like, "There's plenty of time. I'll just check the marks too." And this mom in the group in front of us was like, "Oh, I guess they're just gonna jump in front of us now. I guess we're just getting
Yeah.
past." And I was like, "I'm just setting my
Oh,
sight. It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let me set this, and then I'm gonna walk over there." So,
Yeah.
I think that is probably the easiest, especially at Reading, because there's some targets where obviously there's going to be a yard cut or things like that. You're going to see those targets. At least I can look at a target and say, there's going to be a cut here. I need to range this for sure. But even if you, for most of the targets, I would say they're within a quarter yard of whatever that stake says. And if you set the sight to the stake, you probably can't
Are gonna
tell
be
the
okay.
difference between,
Yeah.
that quarter yard. But I wanted to show you guys something. This was in our group this weekend, and I think you guys will be able to see it.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my gosh, stop. Whose site is that?
that's Tim.
Oh,
Nope.
Nope.
No,
No.
who is
Nope.
it?
That was Kyle Douglas.
What?
Not that
Yep.
one.
oh
Yeah.
Doug Kyle.
Oh, Douglas Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
why was there 4 scope shades on the front?
Just flexing how much money he had, probably.
He says he gets a
I'm gonna
glare.
ask him at the next ASA.
No,
I'm
it
gonna
was
be
a
like,
glare
bro, what
thing.
are you
He
doing?
had some sort of. There was a reason behind
Yeah.
it, I think.
He said he
Okay.
gets a really nasty glare. He says he still gets a nasty glare with 4 on it. So
Buy a different lens. There's
Yeah,
problem solved.
exactly.
I'm like, there are different quality lenses, and
More-
ones that do that, just buy a new one.
Or clean the lens.
No,
There's no way. There's
no, I
way in
actually
there.
I shot one the other day and I saw a back glare for the first time at BTB. It was the weirdest
No,
thing
I've
ever
had that
seen.
before. We were shooting in London at an ASA a couple like years ago, and
The worst place for it.
they drive up and they park their vehicle up on top of the power line as well. So you're like walking down, and there was a white Chevy like right behind us. And I draw back, and all I can see is the door handle was like a black door handle on the silver or on the white outline of the door. I'm like,
What is that?
What the fuck? I'm like, oh, turn around and look like, shit, that's that truck right there. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
guys,
Can you
can
get an
you
umbrella
guys like
behind
get an
me?
umbrella and hold that behind me? Because literally there was so much back glare from that lens, and it was the worst lens I've ever shot.
We were
Dude, it
talking
was
to
only
Chuck
that,
this
like, I had
weekend.
2 of the same lenses, and that lens did it, and the other lens didn't. So it was
Yes.
something with
Yeah,
the
it's
coating on that
definitely
lens
like
that was
lens
weird.
quality.
Yeah.
Like if you're having back glare, get a different lens. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Do
I've
you
heard
put
that.
your etching facing the target
They shoot feather
on the
vision.
glass? They got
It
Oh,
faces me, I think.
On feather vision, it should face you. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
we were talking to Chuck
I
about this.
don't
And-
think it matters because
What did he say?
I've had certain lenses where you're supposed to run like the cup to your eye. And like in the past, like I've flipped it to where like the bulge was towards my eye instead of like the dish.
bet
And
you
it was
did.
actually clearer the way my eye saw it.
Yeah, sometimes I just
It's like
mess
I
it up
don't
how my
ever
eye
look
likes
at
it.
how it's supposed to be in there. I'd shoot them and I'll put it in there and I'll shoot it, and then look and I'll flip it. And then I'll choose whatever I like best off of it. Not what
Gotcha.
is like supposed to be.
Chuck, so somebody asked, and Chuck basically said, "Look, it works mechanically exactly the same, no matter which way." But he says on the X Focus
Doublet.
365
The
lenses,
365s,
he
yeah.
says put the etching facing the target, and that'll minimize the back glare. That was like the only
Okay.
thing, the only difference. It was a back glare thing. So it just
To
reminded
specify,
me of
that's
that.
for the doublet.
Only for the doublet.
That's the question that we asked was.
Oh,
That's
okay.
probably for
doublet.
like the 365 doublet. I don't know what
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
be for the
With like
Mm.
Feather
the
Vision makes the
doublet.
doublet now, like the
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah.
And so that one, yeah, I don't know. I just run the writing toward me, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I've
Like
been
I said,
doing
I'll just
forever.
shoot it both ways. I don't really care. Whatever's clear is what I do. So
Right.
Yeah, I don't really care either. I just run it whatever is the clearest for me. So
the
I didn't-
clarifiers apparently have some direction they're supposed to be or something how they clip into that site, and I run them all jacked up too. So whatever.
I
Bevel
didn't
does
tell
go too.
Elliot all weekend, but I had a big old piece of dirt on my lens, like directly below my dot. And I was so nervous about cleaning it and messing up my dot and fiber that I have going on in there that I just left it
Just
all
rocked it?
weekend. Just
What?
rocked the dirt clod.
why
on
didn't you just
full-
like take a little Q-tip and like knock it off and then
It was
Where the
like
hell is
a,
he going to get a Q-tip?
I carry Specialty has those they're the clarifier cleaners. So
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
the tiniest little head. They're on a blue little stick.
Mhm.
And I actually do a lot of lens cleaning with those. Just because I can comfortably I have a fiber that comes back, and I'm always worried I'm gonna hit the backside of my fiber and snap it off because
Mhm.
I've done that like more times than I can count. And so I carry those tiny little things. So if I don't want to take my lens out or off, I can just reach in behind the fiber and scrub it with that and not have to break my fiber. So
this
I mean, I don't
this
really care how dirty the lens is if I'm not shooting like an ASA, because if I have a dot that's on the target I'm shooting at
yeah.
and I have a color in my fiber, like if I had a black dot or something like that, it'd be a little
You
different.
say
But
that, but you missed BTB this year, like morning 2 when you're shooting uphill and the sun's like behind the target and your lens
Yeah.
is so dirty you actually
Mm.
can't see the little orange dot. Like I actually cleaned mine at BTB
yeah,
because of that. I was
Yeah.
like, ew, okay, just kidding.
like with like water spots, like I never worry about rain on my lens if there's dots on it. Like as long as I'm not aiming with a clear dot, I'm good.
Yeah.
Aim with the
Yeah.
red dot, dummy. You'll be good.
yeah, that was actually, it was like a wet clod of dirt. Like it wasn't huge, it was small, but it was one of those ones where I knew that I was going to have to
Is that- There was that
actually
time when you were letting down and you sneezed.
Ew. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
absolutely.
I pulled my
Big old
fucking
green thing in
rangefinder
there.
up this weekend, and it was just like 50% black. And I'm like, what in the hell? I got my range. And I looked down, and I was eating a granola bar, and a piece of chocolate fell down and melted on my glass. Had a big old melted piece of chocolate right on the glass. But
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
what segue? What are you guys running for rangefinders? You don't run the Leica, do you?
We use the Leica box for anything really close, like 3 and 4, and like all
Uh-huh.
those ones where like
Anything
a
under
foot
5
matters.
yards.
But other than that, no, we're both running that Bushnell broadhead for target stuff. We do not hunt with them. I think it's the worst thing you could ever hunt with in your entire life. Because
Jesus,
even
why?
if you're set on far mode, it still picks up stuff that's like significantly closer. So
Oh.
like antelope hunting in the grass and stuff, and you're like trying to peek up to range, but like not get caught, you can't. Like you can't do it. So I had it last year.
Tone picks up too much obstruction.
It's
Mhm.
shitty. Like even at ASA, sometimes they'll put like a log in front of the target, or it's really close to 2 trees, and those of us with the Bushnell can't even range the target sometimes because it picks up.
You're like
It
13.2.
it's almost like the laser does this instead of it being a straight laser, you know? Like,
Uh-huh.
one thing I've noticed, like I ran a loophole for a jillion years in the past, right? And I would range it with that, and the group in front of me would be at the target scoring, and I'm on the stake, like ranging and setting my sight. And if I could see the target anywhere through all the people, I could like click it and it would give me the right distance. With the Bushnell, you're hitting all the people no matter what. Like you have to wait.
Really?
But the Bushnell is absolutely the most accurate when it comes to the different colored targets. So like black to white, shiny to not shiny, like all those variances. No one else, like the Leica box is good. Obviously, I'm talking like a normal handheld rangefinder.
Mhm.
None of them are even close to the consistency of that one. So that's why we run that for target. But we do not hunt with it. We hunt with the SIG, like 5K or 8K, like whatever. And
Yeah.
those are really good for hunting, and they're really bright and clear, which I like. So it's easier to like pick up animals in low light situations. But yeah,
Would you run it
Bushnell's
for
legit for
target ever?
target. No, it's not good enough for target. The SIG one, if you like, I stand at 20 yards, it'll be like 20. I take a baby step, 20. I take a baby step, 20, baby step, 18.8. And you're like, shit. So it's
Hmm.
not accurate enough. Like when I'm hunting, I'm shooting pins.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter if it tells me 19 or 20. Like, yeah, it's like way
Yeah.
close enough that I don't aim good enough on pins that I would ever be concerned about it. So it's totally fine for that, but I don't think it's accurate enough to the 10th of a yard for
Yeah,
target.
it's like good to like a half yard, but a 10th of a yard is a little sketchy
Yeah.
Mhm.
on it. Or
So for hunting, totally fine. And
yeah, the Bushnell is definitely my favorite one I've ever used too. It's that thing is automatic. Like
Yeah.
I trust it 100% of the time, no matter what.
we're
No
not
kidding.
like
And
we
it
don't
gives you the
shoot for
same
them.
range
Like
every single time too. Like where I used to run the full draw 4 from Loophole because it had archer's advantage in it, and I could plug my peep sight height and bow speed and arrow weight and everything in it. And then my cuts were more correct in the
Mhm.
rangefinder.
Right.
But like I'd stand there and I'd click something, it'd be like 50, 50, 50.4, 50.1, 50.2, 50.2, 50,
it
50.2.
bounces.
Like it'd bounce like
Yeah.
2 to 3/4 of a yard bounce.
I would have the loopholes jump
Where
sometimes a half yard or more. And it
with the
would piss me
Bushnell,
off.
I can click it and the most it ever jumps is a 10th.
Yeah. Like it's very consistent from that as well, which I like.
Damn it. I
Going
was really
back to
hoping there's gonna be
lenses,
just a perfect rangefinder for hunting and target and all that.
yeah, there needs
Yeah.
to
Not
be
yet, I
something
guess.
better.
How
Yeah.
long's that one been out?
Well, the nice thing you run
Couple years.
you run one for hunting and you have your hunting binos and your bino harness, like you just leave all that together
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
your hunting harness, and then you have your target one that stays in your quiver, so that way you don't ever forget or lose them or break them.
Yeah. But I mean,
Uh,
like the Bushnells, we don't obviously shoot for them. And so like we go buy those, but I buy them
Did
because they really are better.
Is that the one Tim was kind of pumping?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy's been
But
shooting them for a while. He really likes it too.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, like
we,
that's like a no BS. Like
if you're
that
not
is
using it,
hands
you're
down the best rangefinder for target. I
well,
would say one that was like, I mean, I've never used it, but I've heard really good things about it. Would be like the Vortex Razor.
I have.
Really?
I've never used it.
I've heard a lot of really good things about it. Like the guys that use them, are like, yeah, I use it for tournaments and hunting. Like it clicks right on. Like it's gold. Like it's really good. But I've never even
Yeah. Never.
I've never even looked through one before. But I've heard that one's pretty good.
So I talked to Bushnell when that rangefinder launched, and I don't know any more details of what I'm going to tell you. If I did, I'd probably tell you if I could, but I don't know. But they basically said, like, we've always had an issue with all the rangefinders where if you ranged a black target and a white target at the
Mhm.
same distance, like it gives you almost even a yard different or more. And there was an issue, obviously, inside the rangefinders as to why that was happening. And so Bushnell hired somebody from outside archery. I think they did medical
It's on the
devices,
field, yeah.
someone out of the
Oh
medical
really?
field, and came in and said, "Hey, we're going to design this new rangefinder." And I think they said that dude looked at what they had for like 10 minutes and went, "Well, here's your problem. It's this." And like picked out what all of the rangefinders, like all the companies are doing wrong essentially, and then
Mhm.
fixed it for them. So that's why that rangefinder is actually different than the other ones that are on the market right now. And I don't
Interesting.
know what he found. Obviously, that's way above my pay grade, but
Sure.
that was kind of a story that they told me.
Yeah, that razor that I have, it lines up exactly with my Leica. So
Okay.
Really?
I've
Well,
been
that's good.
I've been really happy with it. That's why I keep it around actually. And like for some of these tournaments, I'll bring it and it's just in the truck or whatever in case something happens to the Leica. And it's good enough to where I can, because I've tested it when I got it. I got it for hunting, but I've tested it with, target shooting, and it's like I can take a step forward and it'll go 70.1 to 70.2.
Yeah,
And
that's what they
like,
should.
yeah, exactly. And then my
Good.
Leica will say, oh, yeah, it's 70.1. So
Yeah.
you're good.
I mean, there's no doubt that Leica box thing is the most accurate deal you could use, period.
I
Like,
just
To
used it
the
on a
thousandth.
tripod. Yeah, I use it on a tripod, and every distance on our range at the house now, I put a 2-yard, a 3-yard, a 5, 10, 15, 20, and then
we get it, so on.
all the way out 10-yard distances out to 80, then to 100. That I used every single one of them is like 0.001 or another zero.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that.
Yeah. I mean, that thing's legit. It's just slow. And
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I don't love to use it for tournaments. Like, I have enough confidence in my Bushnell that I use that for everything 5 and past. And then I yank out the Leica box for anything closer than 5.
Gotcha.
But
I was out there with string lines and a plumb
Mm.
bob level and clicking the button on the tripod and shifting it forward and backwards. And then it took so long to put the stakes in, but everything is like,
Look
you
like
don't
a
have to worry
surveyor.
about anything. You can just walk out there and step to the stake and be, yep, that's exact
Money.
distance.
Yes, but the question is, which side of the Leica were you ranging it from?
The laser side where it comes in.
Are you sure?
I'm sure he's sure. My problem is my Bushnell actually
Positive.
ranges 3 or 4 tenths different than like correct. It's consistent every time, so it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. But that's another thing actually. Here's our
Ours are different.
1500 advice for people. Do not bring a rangefinder, and do not just set your stuff off of your buddy's rangefinder or whoever's rangefinder, because like ours ranges 4 tenths different all the time, which is absolutely enough. I would have missed some dots if I was 4 tenths higher or lower. And so when I shot marks on our range, I didn't just go stand at the things. Like, I had to stand like, I don't know, yay far back basically
Mhm.
to like have it be correct for my rangefinder. And then I use that same rangefinder the whole weekend. So shoot your marks off of your rangefinder and then
Yep.
run your rangefinder through the whole tournament. Don't trust. Like, there were times where he would say a yardage and I'm like, what? Like, I did not get that. And I'd check it again and I'm like, screw it. I'm trusting my rangefinder. Like, that's what I sighted in off of. And that's what you need to do.
She should have
Yep.
rechecked that 57.
Yeah, maybe I did that one wrong, but other than that, I don't know.
So
Pretty sure you read that one wrong.
funny
I might.
story. We were getting ready to shoot off at BTB on that stage, I get up there to get my range, and it's like my heart's going ape shit, right? And my fucking rangefinder died.
What?
Swear. Went all weekend, did great. That thing seems to I never see the battery thing like showing less, or I just swap the battery. It always
Yeah.
shows full. And I go up there and I was like, oh my God, I take it out, move it around a little bit, put it back together, click it. I got nothing. So I go,
Oh,
John,
no.
get me a range, dude. I guess I'll just do it live, And like
Yeah.
his and
You
I's
had a
always
battery
measure.
die on
I
range.
I had one die on me during Reading.
On those
I had a backup
pigs.
Bushnell rangefinder in my chair,
Uh-huh.
but I was like, I haven't tested it. It's brand new. I've never even used it. I was like, I haven't tested it to see if it also ranges 4 tenths wrong, technically off of like
Uh-huh.
tape distances. And so I was like, I don't know. So we just stole the battery out of it and put it in my current one, and I used that. But I was like panicking. And what's weird, I never saw the battery thing either. I swear to God, I didn't even notice it. And it was like I clicked the last target, and I had actually clicked one distance where I tried to get it before the other group in front of me was there. It was like 3 minutes later, they're done scoring, and I go to click it, and it's just off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I was like hitting it. I'm like, that's the trick. You just got to whack it a few times. And so I was like, okay, no, it's not turning on.
She's over there like,
I'm like hitting
Mike
it pretty
Tyson
hard. I
this
was
Come on,
thing.
you
What are you
panicking.
doing?
piece of shit.
Yeah, I was. But I know my rangefinder is different than everyone else's. So I was like, no, this thing has to work. Like, I'm not going to be a half yard off of my marks all day because of this. So we figured it out.
So typically John's the one that likes to cause the controversy and drama, but I'll throw one in here
Oh.
for everybody that listened.
Ooh.
I don't
So-
cause any kind
is
of
this?
controversy.
At Reading, every single year it seems like we get a freebie target
Oh, I think that's bullshit.
where the dot's mismarked or something, right? And it's
Oh,
normally
yeah.
always on one of the bigger targets that doesn't have a replacement. It's the same targets have been shot the whole weekend. Like a couple years ago, it was on the caribou. They had
I
the
think
cow and the
years ago
bull.
it
Yep,
was
yep,
the
I
bull.
remember
Well,
that.
the one year they painted it wrong, so the paint was running off of it.
No, that
Oh.
wasn't
So-
it at all.
The second time that they had it, there was a dot like the size of a golf ball, and then there was a normal size dot. And I'm sorry, but if you're too freaking stupid to shoot the big dot
Yeah.
on them, you deserve to get whatever points you missed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah. Agreed.
that's just called target management.
Yeah.
I mean, like
fair-
every single target, we all walk up and it's a group conversation.
Which one do you
It's like, which one do
shoot?
you think looks bigger? It's like, even though they're all the same size, I'm going to shoot the one that seems bigger to
Yep.
me, right? Like, I'm never going to shoot one that is inherently smaller to my vision. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I just want the extra confidence of like
I'm
I'm
gonna hit
shooting-
this.
Sometimes I'll even cross shoot. I'm like, sorry guys, I'm shooting the left one.
I like this footing, but
Yeah,
I like that dot.
yeah.
Fucking
Don't point.
John, you'll try to spot an arrow for him, and that thing will go, shoo, and you're going, nope.
What?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, fucking K, all the way to the left.
I did
I
that quite
usually
a lot
warn
this
people
past
first.
weekend. Did
Yeah,
that
you
quite
did.
a lot. I got
But I don't know,
set up
I
on
heard
that.
that we got that. Everybody got a free target on
On the
that.
black
On the
pig.
black
Yep.
pig there. It's like target 46, 45,
Coming down,
47.
yeah, two
Coming
targets
down
after
two-
the
Getting toward
power
Bigfoot.
line bears.
Yeah, like, yeah, 2 targets after the bears.
Yeah. And like we both 22 dad, so it didn't affect us at all. But can you imagine like in the pro class if like let's say Kyle shot one down and that was like the one target he missed and then he gets a freebie and now is a clean score or something, or like, you know, there's someone who's 1, 2, 3 points down, they give you a freebie. Like that's a big swing. And so I don't know. I really hate that. I'm like, if they
Yeah.
mismarked it and someone's stupid enough to shoot. Now the only thing I agree
If it's like
where
a
it should
pinup.
happen, is if it's one target. And let's say they switched it like from day 2 to day 3
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it was the wrong dot size for a day and like the whole day whoever shot it had to shoot it wrong, then I totally get it. But when there's
Yeah.
2 or 3 or 4 of them up and they screw up on one of the dots at some point during the weekend, if you're stupid enough to shoot it, I think you deserve the missed points. I hate that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. The one that you were talking about on the caribou, that was actually our group. So we started on that target
Oh,
on
yeah.
day 1, and me and Elliot were fine that year with this ruling because we started the weekend off with 21s. So
Oh,
we-
yeah.
You shot the wrong target.
Or did you miss the
No.
big one?
No, we just missed
no,
one.
so we had this
You
big
missed the
guy.
big one like dummies.
Big one, okay.
Yeah, you know, opener arrow. You know,
Nerds.
you just.
So then
yeet
you
it out
went
the
over
side.
and complained, so you got a freebie. I see how it is.
No, not at all. We didn't complain. We took it. We took it like a champ and moved on. But what
Yeah.
happened was we were pulling arrows, and one of this big guy that was on our target, the only person not shooting a compound on our championship target, what
What was he shooting?
bear bow.
So he's John's people.
No, not my people.
Okay. I
Don't-
would be pissed if they put a bear bow on my target. I think
I
I'd
think he was shooting
protest.
championship bear bow.
I don't care. They should all be on. Should be forced to share a bail together. I don't know. That's just not okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, but he's leaning up against the target like this, and we pull all the arrows, and he's yanking them out, and then he removes his hand, and when he takes his hand down, he swipes the whole paint and everything off of that target.
Yeah, it was wet.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
the
Okay.
paint had never cured, and so at that target on the caribou, you could only shoot one of the 2 dots like cleanly.
I remember they had it like covered up with cardboard
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he swiped half of the dot away when
Okay.
he
Well,
Well,
did
that
and
that.
that's not his fault. That was wet paint.
No,
Yeah,
it
that's
just
not-
it didn't cure, and that was the year where it was wet too. I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
it was like the next year we had another freebie point on the caribou target as well. And it was because the dot size was like a golf ball and a softball.
Yeah, it was very different. So
You could visibly see it.
like that one, they had already deemed that if you were going to get a freebie like before, but I always want to know like even if it's a freebie, what did I actually shoot and like did I hit it? So I could say like, yes, this is the score I actually shot. So anytime we've got a knowing freebie, like I still am just as nervous or just as stressed because in my mind, if I missed it, then I didn't actually shoot the score I shot. And
Yeah.
so even the freebie years, I still hit the caribou, which is good, but
I did shoot the caribou in the right nostril that year.
I did not.
We had a
Why?
group closest to the center of the nostril, and I
Oh.
Dude, don't agree with that. The ready people want to hate you. I would hate you if you did that and I had to repair
God,
those
our
targets.
first arrow of the weekend, it was everything we could do to get hands on that arrow and get it out of the freaking target.
Yeah.
It
Took
was
us like
like
5 minutes.
it was
Really?
it was
it
that
was
stuck.
so bad. We had the jacking tool in there. We had freaking 4 hands on it. It was so bad.
Slipping the whole time.
Where did you start?
What target did you start on?
20.
20. The downhill.
Those deer.
The deer.
No. It's
No,
not the deer. It's
always
downhill.
the
Coyote or
badger.
something.
it's the
Badger.
badgers.
Badger,
30
yeah.
yards, 35-yard badger.
I
Yep.
used to start on that target for years. I started on 20. And I really liked that. It was fine.
You should
Yeah,
come
it's a good
back.
place to be.
No,
Yeah.
it sucks. Then you have to shoot the buffalo on day 1, on day 3.
That's fine. You could just 22 it like I did. And
I mean, yeah, they're all very easily 22able. You just have to put the pin in the middle.
Yeah, John
I
fucking
didn't
clean
think-
Sunday, dude. He did good.
Yeah. I
I
haven't
was
I
really
haven't
happy.
22'd that buffalo in like years and I actually got it this year. So that was nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything long this year. I sucked.
I kind of like having all the long stuff in one day. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Mentally, it's like you're panicking though, because you're like, oh my God, I'm 3 down. I'm 4 down. I've shot that day 6 down before. And you're like, I'm 6 down. It sounds so terrible. But then when your other 2 days aren't so bad, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just sounds terrible when you come in that one day and you're that many down. It's like an
Mhm.
ego. Just,
I don't know.
Wow.
I like that. I like our day 3 feel good
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
too.
range. It's nice.
That's
Yeah.
why I got us signed up a couple years ago on 25. I was like, look, we'll get the canyon out of the way on day 1. Day 2 is going to be the day where we're going to have to put in all the work.
it's a beast.
And then day 3, we're going to go, I call it the walk through the park. We just do the walk
Hey,
through the
just
park
post.
and nothing's over 60. You have 1 at 64.
60, yeah, caribou.
Caribou,
Yeah.
60.
And
And
that's
it's a
big
and that's
dot.
the closest you're going to shoot that size of a dot too. So it makes
Yeah.
it nice.
Yeah. That Sunday was a good day for me, but it required me making a huge mistake on day 2 to kick myself in gear. I dropped one at 11. So that, and then I cleaned it out the rest of the weekend. But
That's
it
good.
back, like I wanted to bring it up earlier because you're like, you have to give every target its
Like the same effort.
same
Yeah.
effort, right? And so my second arrow on the 11 yarder was just get back and set my thumb on, boom, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's gonna be low.
Really?
And I looked down at Scotty McClose, and I was like, damn it, hey, you got lazy, you got complacent. You know, it's 11 yards, just like because we shoot the same power, and I have a similar scope length to your or peep length to pin. Like, yeah, it's all orange. And so, like, yeah, it's not going to leave and everything. And you just get a little bit complacent and you can make that mistake. And I mean,
Like
that's
on those close ones, I will pick a target that has a dot that has an arrow hole in the center, close as like whatever dot has an arrow hole, the closest to the center, that's the dot I'll shoot intentionally.
Mhm.
So it like gives me something to aim at in the
Yeah.
middle. Like that's
I
kind of
always-
how I pick all of my dots when there's like multiple targets. You know, like sometimes we'll get like 3 deer standing there, or 4
That's a good pro
sheep
tip. I like
or
that.
whatever. Like whatever has like the most center of the target shot out, and there's like the white chunky spot on the middle of the orange dot. Like as long as that one's close to the middle, like it could be the dullest, dingiest looking dot up there. And then there's a big, bright, glowing orb right next to it on the other side of it. Like, I'm still going to shoot the one that's a little bit more shot up just because I like that aiming spot in the center.
Yeah. I do
I'm-
the complete opposite of what you do where you shoot both dots. I shoot just the same dot. Or I'll pick someone's target where I like the way their arrows look in the target and I'll shoot at their target.
And then I'll just fuck
How
their
do you
On the
not
close
pin out.
ones?
glance out?
Huh?
On the close ones?
Yeah.
How do you not glance out?
I'm shooting a 464 grain arrow at
Dude, if you
65 pounds.
came up
care.
behind me and you shot one of my arrows in an 11 yarder and broke both my nocks, I'd kick you in the balls.
I usually cross shoot them, so it won't be your knock.
Yeah, if you broke my arrows, I'd even worse. Like,
You're right, he is
Cross
an asshole.
no wonder nobody likes you.
I
Oh
fucking
my
told you.
Blasting him way over here.
Cross shooting son of a bitch.
I would
Oh,
see
yeah.
someone else's arrows in one and keep scrolling. He didn't shoot that one, did he? That's funny.
Well, so for me, because I shoot a blurry target, like I want to be sure I drew down and shoot the same one. So I'll pick like one of the corners of say the skunks, right? So I'll pick one of the corners to shoot at, and then I'll shoot at my knock for my second arrow, so that I
Oh
know
my
that
God. That gives me
Dude,
the
I
most
have
severe
missed
anxiety.
points in Reading because of that. I used to do that. I missed a 13-yard skunk or whatever it was, like a possum or weasel or whatever, ermine. And then I missed those freaking 19-yard possums last year
Up the hill.
up the hill right before the canyon bears. I shot it the same dot because all the rest of the dots were taken. And there was one possum that had a single dot left open on the bottom row. And I'm like, well, I'm not shooting at the top row. That sucks. I'm going to shoot at the
Yeah.
bottom row. Smoke my first one in the middle, then the next one glances and kisses out, and I missed it off the top. I'm like, are you shitting me?
I will never shoot my arrows at the same dot. And like I'll pick a target that no one shot at or jump up there real quick so I can try to shoot first. Because I've glanced out. I lost Reading years and years and years ago. I wouldn't have won it, but we would have been tied. And I glanced out on my last target off somebody's arrow and
Oh,
like
shit.
lost. And so yeah, I've glanced out enough and I've seen people glance out enough that I'm like so gun shy. And the way
I
that
know it
I like
happens.
to run it, I feel like you always have people in your group who like don't run it this way, but whenever I've shot in any of the Reading groups, like on day 3, there's usually 1, 2, 3, if any, people that are still like left in it, if that makes sense, like in
Yeah.
it to win it kind of thing. And I'm like, on day 3, if you're still in it to win it, like go up, shoot your arrows at a clean dot, and then get out of the way, and then the whole group can go like bombard the targets.
Yeah.
But I always get annoyed on day 3 if someone's like 5,000 down and then they like jump up there to shoot. And I'm like, get out of here. Because if I
Yeah.
glance out on your freaking arrow on day 3, like I'm going to want to punch you. Like you've shot 14 eighths, move. I hate that. And so, yeah, it's like, and it's different too. Like, I mean, I used to shoot in like Levi, it was like me, Levi Chance, like that whole group. And they were always really good about that. Like I remember one year specifically, it was like Chance and I were still in it on day 3. And it would be like, okay, you two pick your target, you guys shoot it. And then they would like go do dumb shit where we used to pay like $1 and shoot close to the center on every target. And there was like 20 people in a group at that time. So it was like almost $20 a target. And then you'd push if it was too close to call. And so they'd be like, you two focus, you shoot your arrows. And then literally the whole group would just be like, boom, do dumb stuff. And so I appreciate a group who like, you know, does that, because it's one thing if you glance out on day 1, I feel like you're less paranoid about it. But when it's day 3 and it's crunch time and you glance
Yeah.
out on something stupid, like, I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but like it could be a $15,000 glance out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like when you think of it from that perspective, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not risking that. Like,
Yeah, like,
no chance.
Our group's good. Like, we kind of, everybody
They're pretty good.
has an understanding. Like, it's whoever's in it still like gets up and shoots first on day 3.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I completely respect that. I think the last 2 years I've kind of been letting Elliot shoot first and just focus on letting him make good shots, and I'll try and
I just
come in
like
behind.
shooting first. I think like as soon as somebody hands me my arrows and pulls them, I'm going to the next target. And this year we had some people in front of us that had kids. So a lot of times like they would shoot, but then they would go down the hill to a shorter stake, and it would allow you to like, nobody's down there scoring just yet. You could pull a range over the top of their head a lot, sit there, click it, get ready, and just find a good spot. And like the quicker that I can stay moving, the less cooldown time, the better.
I do the same thing. I don't get nervous other than like once I'm on a target. If I have to shoot like last, let's say in the group, like the anticipation of like waiting and waiting to shoot the target, I hate that. Where if I just fling my arrows and I'm done, I could sit on that target for 20 minutes and I don't even care, but I just want my arrows down there and then it's fine. So I hate waiting. And I was feeling guilty because I was probably the slowest person on our target. Not probably, definitely. And the slowest. I'm normally one of the fastest people ever. And I was so damn slow this year because I let down so many times. And he was like shooting after me the first 2 days. And I was like, dude, just get up there and shoot. Like, it was stressing me out because I felt like I needed to be faster so he wasn't last. And he's like, dude, I actually don't mind like watching everyone, like gauging wind off your guys' arrows and stuff. Like, quit worrying about me.
Yeah, it was
But
like
I
you just do your thing.
I was
Like
stressing because I was so
He's
slow.
like,
I'll
he's
handle.
like, I'm not
I got
missing
this.
anything
I'll
anyway.
handle my shit. This is easy. I got.
Yeah,
it.
he
Don't,
was like,
don't worry
I'm
about me.
fine. And I'm like,
I told you
yeah,
I'm gonna
why are
clean
you
it, didn't I?
fine?
Yeah, like just shut up and shoot your damn bow.
Yeah. I'm up there like letting down 3 times.
She's standing there like
screaming.
up there, lets down, turns back around and looks.
I'm like, get on the
Just get
line
up here
and
and
shoot.
shoot. I'm like, if you quit telling me to get up there and shoot your bow, you'd have already shot that arrow by now. So like, just turn back around and shoot it.
I still had 2 more letdowns. I was using those sons of bitches. Like, that was happening.
I really like aiming on knocks though. Like I feel like I
You're a
do
fucking
hate it.
psycho.
my best
Dude, you should go to
aiming.
ASA then. You
I
would
hate
love
it.
that.
I do not like it. I will pick an open dot every time.
I'm terrible at aiming at knocks.
I just like
Because
like,
my brain
even-
like wants to aim at something. So like if I can pick a spot or like a hole or like an arrow hole in the target or something like that, I'll pick that spot and my pin will stay closer to that dot. If I get a target where there's like 12 arrows in it already and there's multicolored knocks, I'm like freaking pinball. It's like,
Yeah.
and then that's when I'm going to miss one because it's moving from one knock to the other knock and it's going towards the outside edge of the dot and it fires like it's going to carry and like that's when you have a bigger chance of missing, I think, or you hit
So-
another knock and it glances.
I don't mind it ready. When there's a ton of arrows, I don't
at
mind it.
arrows.
ASA though, I hate. Like, I'd rather shoot a bear target every time than shoot one with arrows in it.
Now, if all the arrows are like wadded in a cluster, dead center middle, and it's like a tight cluster, that's fine. But I don't like shooting one that's like scatter patterned.
well,
Like that
yeah.
stresses me out.
Yeah.
That's why
Especially if there's one like 6 o'clock, an inch off the dot. That's like my freaking kryptonite.
I'm definitely very selective about when I am shooting at like a batch of knocks. And like Elliot brought up cross shooting earlier. Like I stepped up to this target and I stepped on it's the one right before Bigfoot, the downhill rams or whatever.
Yeah.
And I stepped up on the right one because when I was standing back there, it looked really good. And then I get up there and I look and there's knocks all around the dot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no. And I looked to the far left one and there's just a
There's
lot.
4 targets down there, mind you.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. It's like
He's
you
standing
added
far
an extra
right,
yard and
shooting
a half.
far left.
change your footing and
I
stand
measured it.
sideways to shoot
It was only
Yeah, you had to
0.1
add a
off.
yard.
And had to add a yard to your damn sight. Dave. Yeah.
But it was just a wad stacked in the middle. And so I was like, that's much nicer. I'm gonna shoot at that.
I'm gonna come blast those.
Yeah,
from
everybody
the
else's
side.
sidewalls on their arrows are like, oh.
I
His
run this kid's
450
arrow in
arrow.
so hard this weekend. My whole arrow came in like this, and the guys watching it, they're like, you hit him, and then your whole arrow shifted and went in straight into the dot.
Yeah, you could see the band in that fucking shaft. It was
Yeah.
disgusting.
That was on purpose, though. That was on
kid.
purpose.
What a
Okay.
dig.
Was the kid mean? Or
No, he was a
annoying?
sweetheart. He was a sweetheart.
yeah.
You're just like,
just
I'm
using
just
an
going to
arrow
go
as
crush
like
this kid's arrow.
We say it's
Mhm.
like a backboard. You're just like using the arrow as a backboard to
Mhm.
help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we were also putting rocks in his backpack all weekend.
I saw that video.
Oh, that was
Who
funny.
is this? Who are we messing with?
His name's Blake Perkins from Utah.
Oh, yeah. He works at Wild Arrow.
Yeah, he's super awesome. And
Yeah,
so
Why are you putting rocks in Blake's backpack?
He keeps opening his
dick?
backpack up. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he's got a big ass boulder in his backpack. He's like, "I don't know how long have I had this."
he didn't notice until the next morning and threw it out.
Oh, my God.
That's
What is-
funny. That's
Oh,
funny.
And I wrote I grabbed Elliot's permanent pin and I put a big old heart and a U in it. And then
Stuck the rock in his
it was
backpack.
like this.
Yeah, it was a big one.
This, what you just said though, that's what makes Reading so awesome. Because there's no other pro tournament that we get to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And
So you're never with the same people for 3 days.
no, I
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's just
You either
different when
get
you're with your
flighted or-
competition and they're all, spicy.
You know who
Like,
I thought
I-
was, you know who was way funnier than I thought they would be was Lynn.
Hoke?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
that dude was
He was
hella
I like
funny.
him.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yep.
That was a good group of guys.
Yeah, that was a fun one for sure. Lynn was every target. Oh, it's picture time. Oh, it's picture
Oh yeah, because the
time.
people ahead of us were taking lots of pictures and shit.
Yeah,
He
they're
was kinda
kids. You know,
heckling.
they got
Yeah.
kids, so he was heckling them a little bit.
I
I'll
would have
tell you
taken
what
pictures
though,
too if I shot better.
that 30 seconds of me standing at the line on the last target, staying clean on day 3, that felt like 30 minutes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
standing up there, they're taking a photo. I'm like, holy shit! Let me just double check the site. Feel like
yeah,
I
because you
checked
have
my.
like the target you end on is not like a super easy target either. Like that target is
It's
missable.
that deer.
Yeah.
That's the
40
deer that Tate
like
said he wanted to get
47.
through. It's the same deer you end on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit that target. We shot the ducks, and we stood there, and it's like there was a group shooting, and then 25A was up to shoot.
Yeah.
So I had to wait for
Wow.
2 groups to shoot it, and
Yeah.
I find like I hit the target with both arrows, and I walk off. I'm like, okay,
Ooh, yeah.
like we're good now. Like
Yeah.
now it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was
I still had 5 targets to go. That anything could happen, right?
I
But
get
it
I
was
get
like
spicier when I get actually nervous, and I'll literally be like, "Hey, move it along! Like, get out of the way!" Like, I don't even care. I'll start yelling at people as nice as I can, but I will. Oh, speaking of yelling at people, can we just talk about a little spicy topic here, real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People should
Absolutely.
never.
oh yeah,
I actually yelled.
he about ripped someone's
Okay.
freaking noggin off.
One of our friends too, like, you know him. He's a local guy, so I was like, it surprised me he did that. But when people ask you, "Are you still clean?"
Oh yeah.
I'm
Like,
like day 2, just come off the elk herd. Granted, I missed one on the elk herd, so I wasn't clean still.
yeah, but that was the first one.
But that was the
missed,
first one I
like,
missed all weekend and like shot 40 targets, you know.
yeah.
Mhm.
And we're sitting there getting ready to shoot the moose, which was the next fucking point I missed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And right before that, hey, are you still clean? Like it didn't. That's not why I missed. I'm not using it as an excuse. Like
No.
Yeah.
they had nothing.
But
It,
you were,
it
that was
affected
way out of
me.
your head.
Yeah, I
shot,
wasn't
but
that. Yeah, 30 minutes had gone by, but
Yeah.
still, it's like, dude, don't ask that. Like just
like,
common sense.
I clapped back like real
Yeah,
quick,
she was spicy.
and I was like, "You should never ask someone that." And I kind of like didn't back down. It was pretty spicy. And then who was in front of me?
Rudy.
Rudy's like, "Who asked that?" He like chimes up and he's like, "Who did that?" I'm like, "Him." And Rudy's like, "Why would you do that?" It was funny. We were both like yelling at him. But the day before that, we were shooting and it was like we were maybe 4 targets from the end on the first day, and I was still clean. And one of the club guys and I love the Reading club guys, right? Like
Yeah.
they're all amazing. But like this one in particular, he was like, "Hey, are you still clean?" And I literally just looked him straight in the face and was like, "You should never ask someone that." And he was
Yeah.
like, "But are you?" I'm like, you're missing my
Again.
point. Like, I really mean this. Like, you should not ask that. Like, if I
Yeah.
miss, it's probably gonna be your effing fault now. Like, it makes me so mad. So for anybody watching this, if there was like one thing I could
You
get
can ask like,
how is your day?
how are you doing?
How
How's
are
your
you
day?
shooting?
Whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. Like don't ask the words like, are you still
Are you
clean?
clean?
Mhm.
Have you missed yet? Like don't put something negative in someone's brain.
And
I just
when
go
you're
like this.
clean,
I go,
you
huh? Huh?
Yeah, you did that to me when we walked by on
Yeah.
it was we were passing you when the 2 targets before the caribou on the last day on the
Yeah.
snack shack on the lower 14.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
But-
were like gave me a thumbs up. I'm like, yep, like we're still good. Like, but I
you
knew
went
I knew what it meant, but it wasn't
It's not the same
verbiage.
as asking.
It's not the same as asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It could
it's
be like,
just
no,
really
I'm
annoying.
doing okay. You know, I could be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you could have missed 1 point, but you're still shooting.
I'm still shooting good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're
Yeah,
so good.
Exactly.
But I don't care. Like, people can talk to me, obviously, like during the whole round. I don't mind that at all. But like, you should never ask at any tournament, anywhere ever, like, are you clean? Because the second you do that, if they are clean, when you're clean, you know it. So it's not
Yeah.
like you don't know you're clean.
You're trying to put
But you're
every
trying
other
to
thought in
think
your mind other than that.
anything
Yeah.
but the fact you're still clean. And when they ask you, like, forces that to the forefront of your brain. And then like the next target, you're like, fuck, I'm still clean. Like, don't screw
Mhm.
it up because the guy said that to me. Like, then you're thinking about it. And so yeah, that's like one of those pet peeves. People do that to me at indoor all the time, and mentally I'm way better outdoor than I am indoor. Like, I shoot well indoor.
Like ripped that poor dude's soul out of his heart
Which one?
in indoor a couple years ago.
He needed it.
Oh yeah, that
Like,
was
that was a
good.
bad one. But literally, I like felt. And then here's what sucks is he didn't ask me if I was clean. He was just being annoying as shit. I was on my 11th end of day 2 at the 5 spot. No, we
It was-
shot the 11th
you
end.
were
And I
waiting
was
to shoot
sitting
the last
waiting to
end.
shoot the last end.
Of the second day.
Yeah, and no woman had ever cleaned it at this point, and I'm still clean. and I'm shitting my ever-loving pants, like, rightfully so. And I hate indoor, right? And so I
Yeah.
am more nervous. Like, I'm actually nervous. Like, I don't get like that outside, but indoors I do. And I'm sitting there and he like comes up and he's like trying to ask me how I'm shooting. And I'm like trying to deflect because I don't want to think about it or talk about it. And then he's like, hey, my daughter's going to be shooting down on like target 20 and she's got target panic and can you maybe go give her a pep talk? And he's just going like on and on. And I was like, 4 times I had tried to nicely be like, hey, let me just shoot my last end. And when I come back, we can chat. And then he'd keep going. And I'm like, can you just give me a minute? Let me shoot and then we can talk. And like, he was not getting it. And finally, I just lost my shit. And I was like, fucking leave. Like, go away. I need to shoot my last end. I don't give a shit. Go. And I didn't say that mean, but it was,
Yeah.
it was a close version
Got
of
the
that.
point across.
And
Basically.
I literally turn around and Sharon Wallace is sitting there and she goes, I just said that shit 5 minutes ago. Like, don't feel bad. And I was like, okay. And and then what's so bad is then I'm waiting to shoot the last end, and all I'm thinking about is how guilty I feel that I just did that. And so it's like, stop putting us in those positions. Like, don't
Yeah.
be like, here's the other thing. For everyone else, it's just fun. So they
Yeah.
don't think about it like that because it's like it's just like going golfing with your buddies on the weekend.
Yeah.
You're talking shit, like, whatever.
It's not a
Like, they
job.
don't realize, like, you could say that and cost me $15,000. Like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. It's like they do not understand that this is our job, or at least my job now. Like, and it really matters. Like, it is a material, life altering thing that you could fuck up here. It's not just like fun with your buddies on the weekend. And I hate that. Like, and there's only been a few real bad ones, like, in my time. But like, even at Vegas this year, there was people doing that. And I was going back. There's not enough chairs like in Vegas right now. So I was having to go sit like back with the other people. And at one point I was like, dude, I might just sit on the floor up there because like the number of people that then come up to you and try to
Yeah.
talk to you in the middle of the round is like stressful. And I'm like, dude, I swear I'm going to stay in the booths all day. Like, just give me these 2 hours to focus.
Yeah.
Like, and you're trying to be nice because, again, they're not asking you bad questions or doing anything wrong. But it's like, I just wish that people respected that a little bit more than they do, for sure.
No, I think that's a good point to make because it's like you can get on a bail or whatever, and someone's just rough for whatever reason, and they just
We've all had it.
yeah. And so, like, don't be the person that everyone on the bail dislikes because you're making it uncomfortable and then even more so for someone who it's their actual job. I understand Tate's retired, but
Doesn't look like it.
Damn straight.
He should have retired a long time ago because he's way better now.
But yeah,
No.
don't be the person that's out there making it more difficult, especially for the pros. You know,
But
like
not just for
Me,
us. Like,
not for the pros,
it's
just for
like that
anybody in
anybody.
general. Because if
Yeah.
like someone, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus here. Like, I may or may not have made Bella, and it's funny because we laugh about it now. This was in U.S. Indoor Nationals. I don't know, 7 years ago in Sacramento, and the target judge or whatever comes up to me, and we had like 2 ends left, and he's like, "You need to change your target." I'm like, "I'm not changing my target for 2 ends. Like, that's ridiculous." He's like, "No, you're wearing like you basically told me I'm shooting too good, and then I have too good of an aiming reference in the middle now.
The lines were still intact.
Like the lines are still intact, but like you have shot too many arrows in the same spot. Like you need to change your target." And I looked at him like, "If you're gonna make me change my target, I'm gonna make you change everybody else's target that I like think needs to be changed. We're gonna take a walk down the line here." And we went down and walked down the whole line. I'm like, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and
like
that one.
a full tantrum.
Because I'm like,
No way.
this is bullshit. Because
Yeah.
the rules are so skewed across the nation where there's
Now they're not.
literally
Now.
had shot. I watched them post a picture of their 120 arrows they shot on the same 2 targets all weekend. Like, no, that's bullshit.
Mhm.
And Bella was one end away, and she was like on their way to shoot like a PB or whatever. And
She was
made-
a little kid.
like a little
years
kid.
ago.
Yeah.
I made her take her target down, and then she missed like all 3 or missed 2 the next end, and missed her PB by
She
1. It was like
cried.
crying and like bawling.
I didn't even
Oh.
like, and I was like, dude,
And it
you
was like
picked on
poor
her.
Like
Bella.
3 years later, we were somewhere, and she was talking about something. And we were in the bus riding from the hotel, from the airport to the hotel, the World Cup in Paris. And we were just talking about just like past tournaments and things like that. And she's like, yeah, this one time I was shooting really good and I didn't even know that was her. And she said it. I'm like, oh,
He's
my
like, that was
bad.
just me.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've been that guy.
I
a
was
bunch
throwing
times.
a fit.
Yeah, I just made everybody change their target for no reason. But okay.
Yeah. No, like I just think everyone deserves to have a good time. But someone did say to me, because after I ripped the second guy this
Yeah.
weekend, I'm like, why did they do that? And people were like, honestly, I think they believe that the pros are like immune to that. Like it genuinely doesn't
Yeah.
bother them. They think they're
Still
above
human.
that. I'm like, no, we're human and there's more pressure on us and more stress. It's not like we aren't mental robots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
There's a few of us. There's a few guys that are.
yeah, maybe
But-
Kyle, but like I'm not, like that stuff does get to me. And then like I said, if I'm a little bit snippy or mean, then I'll like replay that in my head for 4 targets, feeling guilty. So it's like
Yeah.
you can't win either way. Like if I'm nice, I'm annoyed they did it, and if I'm mean, then I feel bad I was mean. So it's like I just hate that. Like
Yeah.
people need to
You
quit.
need to hang out with Doug more. He's really good at tearing someone a new asshole and then turning around and shooting a 22.
I mean, I did it. I still shot a 22, but I felt a little guilty while I was doing it.
Fucking Doug on the practice range. We're shooting with James, right? James Sisser.
Yeah.
And he freaking beat all of us, by the way. That dude
He's good.
He
Is it
shot.
on the blind draw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really
Yeah.
good.
No, he is. He shot a 15-14 for his first reading. That was pretty epic.
And
for
he
the hunting
missed
sight.
he probably missed like 14 points between 8 and 14 yards because he couldn't
Yeah.
set his sight.
I know. Crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're shooting and Doug's with us. And it was like Doug and I and Heather and him, and it was a good group. We were having a lot of fun. And James says something to the tune of like, so I noticed there's not a lot of victory arrows out here or something like that. And Doug, without even skipping a beat, dude, he's all, yeah, most of us choose to shoot good arrows. Just walks away. He don't know him from anybody, but just Doug being, Doug.
That's funny.
It was hella funny.
He's like, what's that guy's problem? You're like,
Yeah.
nah, that's just him.
No, he laughed, but it was just, the way he
Oh,
said it
man.
so fast afterwards, it was super funny.
He had
Yeah.
that one loaded in the chamber for like a
Uh-huh.
few targets, I think.
He was holding on to it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Doug always has a few one-liners
Oh,
loaded,
yeah.
ready to roll.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
No, Doug's a hoot to shoot with.
He'll
For
like
sure.
say it to intentionally piss someone off right as he knows he's about to walk away.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna leave
That's-
that one with you for the next
That's
20
literally
minutes.
what
See you
happened.
later."
He literally said it. He had his arrows in his hand. He was headed to the next target.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is really funny.
So the
Yeah.
moral to the story, I think, we talked about target management. But something we don't talk about a whole lot, apparently, or enough, is target etiquette.
Mhm.
Don't
Oh,
talk a bunch of shit. Don't put stuff in people's head. Don't.
I don't even mind shit talking. I'm fine with
No,
shit talking.
I don't
Don't
mean-
ask me if I'm clean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, shit talking's
Yeah.
great. But, don't, like you
You
said.
probably
if you-
shouldn't shoot 4 animals over inside all your buddies' arrows.
Yeah.
John.
Just remember, if you ever do that to my arrows, I will
Okay.
pull your arrows out and I will break them.
Okay, wait. Can we tell you a story?
sure.
Yeah.
There
Why
was
not?
a
That's
kid.
what we're here for.
This is a Reading story too. So
Oh yeah.
I am
I
doing
won't-
that
I
next
won't say
time we
his
shoot
name,
together,
but-
by the way.
yeah, he used to shoot for bowtech or work for bowtech, and it was back when we shot in like the Chance Levi group,
Yeah.
like with all those guys and Tate, me, whoever, Mike Pollard. There's like a whole bunch of
Yeah, it was like back when you have
And-
like 15 people in a group.
It was kind of like our group, and then he was kind of like an outlier that just got thrown with us. But we knew him from bowtech, whatever. He's a nice kid. It was fine. Somehow, some way, he thought it was funny to like do exactly what you were doing, John,
Cross-shoot
and just
people.
keep cross shooting people. And he broke a couple people's arrows.
And
like,
we
over
warned
the
him,
course of the weekend.
Like, hey, quit.
Yeah.
Quit cross shooting.
They'd said like if you want to shoot that one, just wait and come over and like shoot it, because it was like excessively doing it. It wasn't like once in a while where he's like, guys, I'm sorry, I like this dot better, because I did that too. But like
Mhm.
it was every target. It was intentional. He was laughing about it. Whatever.
And then he chopped two. I think he chopped both of Levi's arrows in half on one target, like on target 13 or target 4. It was on target 14. He did it
On
because
number 14 of those.
then we had the white mountain goats for 15. Then the very next target
is 16.
16. We're all like
So
at
Chance,
full draw on
no,
those.
hold on. So Chance and I, this is day
Yeah,
3.
they're the only
So
ones like left.
Chance and I are still in it. And then that kid, he was oblivious to what was going on. So like Chance and I step up and we shoot our own squirrel. Everything's fine. Whatever, little ermine, whatever it is. He shoots his 2 arrows in the same dot. He shoots his little squirrel. And nobody else was shooting.
We all like drawed back and like faked him out like
Yeah,
we're gonna
like,
shoot.
down.
And then we like let down. We're like bullshit and talking, whatever. We let him shoot his arrows. We all then
And they let us finish.
we all then moved over like 10 yards
as far
to the left as we could
shoot.
get. And we all lined up on his dot and stuffed like 20 arrows in a dot.
One dot.
And both of his pro tours are snapped off.
You couldn't even see his arrows in the target to score. Like they were obliterated, gone.
The first one snapped and he's like, "Oh, stop it, guys!" And then the second one snapped and you could just see it all over his face. He was about ready to start crying.
And like literally, they shot. So it was like me and Chance, and then that dude, and every single other person shot both their arrows on the same dot. The whole group.
There was no more orange dot. Like you pulled the target and the dot was gone. There was no dot left on the target.
Right.
And they didn't keep doing that to him. Like we got up there, they all pulled their arrows, and one of the guys looked at him in the group. And they're like, "Do you get the point now? Are you done?" And he's like, "Yeah." They're like, "Then we're good." And we like moved on. But
he had like 3 targets left for the weekend.
In my life, I had never seen anything like that, and I didn't know that they had that plan because again, I'm like still in it and I'm stressed and focused, so that I like didn't know what was happening. And I'm like looking to like call people's arrows, and it's like then I realized like what's happening as soon as they all just went and just spread out, and I'm like,
hilarious.
"Oh, shit, this is happening."
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
But yeah. That's the only time I've ever seen that happen in like all my life. But he really did deserve it. I mean, he learned his lesson.
Pro used to do that all the time too, and he would shoot like
25
full bores. No, he'd shoot 27s for Reading, like the big old Tom Crow. He would shoot Easton full bores, and he would just cross shoot the shit out of people. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he'd hit someone's there, and he'd start laughing, and I'm like, God, you're such a dick.
So there's a bunch of examples of target etiquette. Let those that are in it shoot first, and don't fucking cross shoot so much.
Yeah, don't be a cross shooting guy.
Yeah,
Shoot
the people are really
dots
good.
straight on,
Like,
John.
I only did it a couple times. Elliot's exaggerating. I did chase this one kid, the same kid that we were putting rocks in. I'd go up there and I'd be like, "Oh, there's a nice green knock. Let me go after his arrows because I can see him right in the middle."
But it's different if you shoot someone's knock.
Menace.
I think that's totally fine. It's like they're designed to be replaced.
If you're sitting there like coming in from left field, like that's a
That
little
was once.
excessive.
It was once. It was only once, and it was just because
that's fair.
that target was dog shit for the one
So,
that I
That's fair.
thought I
You
wanted
get a
to
free
shoot.
pass.
We came up to target 5, and we talked about it a little bit, but like just for shits and gigs, we had target 5. There were 2 targets down there. One of them was the dot was just beat to shit. There was like a chunk of paint missing at 6 o'clock. That was like, it was just eaten up, right? And the other one was like real fresh. Which one are you guys choosing?
Is the hole chunked out to where it's
Like you could hit
like
it.
like
and
you could hit it and you
call
can't
it?
tell on an arrow call? Like there's no outside edge of orange, or is the hole completely inside of the dot?
I would say there was a sliver, like an oblong sliver that the bottom of it went a little bit below the orange, but for the most part, it was mostly in the orange.
And then
Granted,
I'm shooting the other dot. If the hole is anywhere outside of the edge of the dot and it's taken the integrity of the dot line away, I'm not shooting it.
Oh yeah, I definitely did that.
Yeah, like I actually prefer the ones that are more shot up to aim at.
That's what I was getting at. I do too.
There's no secret. Like I used to lock low forever, and I've beat that now. But for whatever reason, when a dot is crystal clear and shiny and brand new, my brain wants to lock low on it more than one that's shot up. Don't ask me.
I don't like the bright. I don't like those. Like like you've obviously shot it. Like the crazy bright ones. You'll have 3 black targets, and it's like one of them is like
glowing.
Looks like it's got radiation poison on it.
Right.
I think that was target 5, the turkey.
But I like when they have that, because then when those are shot up, I think they're awesome to aim at. But like, I don't want to be the first one to have to shoot them. Like, I'm more likely to pick the shot up one. But every single time I glass and make sure, especially at 6 o'clock, like if there's ever a shot out hole where I could hit and like maybe get called out potentially.
Or like the target integrity is gone and like it'll hit and kick.
Yeah, I won't shoot.
Like I won't shoot those.
Our group calls like straight assholes. Like if you're even close, they're gonna call it out. So I don't want any chance of that happening.
No, we just call
but
correctly. We don't give people free points.
So
I agree with that statement, but I still think you're a little harder than you should be.
There's definitely
I just like
some.
the ones that
I
look
write
soft.
numbers on scorecards, so
Yeah. He got demoted from calling after he called my arrow out, and we almost got divorced before we were married.
and it was
Now he does score.
it's just safer. I don't get yelled at there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's working well
Let
for
somebody
you.
else call it out. That's
I'm learning.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I actually had years ago, like way before Tate and I was still married to Dave at this time, and it was like Dave and my dad were in my group, and I had 2 other girls in my group that were like my own competition. And Dave was calling arrows, and Dave calls my arrow out on a birdie target. My dad goes and looks and calls it out. And I was like, okay, it must be out. And I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, fuck that. Like, that arrow is in. Like, there is no argument. I'm like, what are they even looking at? And I'm like, will you girls come look at this? And my own competitors came up and called it in. And I'm like, if my dad and my husband at the time are calling my shit out, and my own competitors are calling it in, that is a problem. And that's how I felt. It was like a trigger moment when he did that. I'm like, not again. Like, this is insane. But
It was that far freaking out.
it was not.
It was like a full shaft out.
It was
I
in a
got-
hole.
It was in a hole, but it was clearly out.
okay,
There's
I
no
got
tie goes to the runner.
Like, we're going to argue about that arrow call till the day I die. I wish I had like detailed video of it. I don't know why.
I was gonna
didn't
say,
do
does
that.
there
I
a
was
picture?
so
no one
pissed.
took a photo.
I was so pissed that I don't think I talked to any of them for the rest of the day. I just like stomped off, like, fuck all of you. And then I ended up tying Toya that weekend, and that arrow call was the difference between winning and losing Reading. So then I really and I lost. So then I really hated him.
Oh boy.
So she should be a 12-time winner.
I actually, if Brady and Toya ever listen to this, they'll laugh over this, or like any of the other couples. But like Tate is brutally, I'm the same way with him. Like we don't like favor each other because we're dating, right? And
Yeah.
we're back at the house, and I just lost Reading, and I'm going, do you think effing Brady would have called Toya out? He'd be advocating for her arrow. Like he always does that shit. I'm like, you think Braden would do that? He calls fake shit in all the time. He would have given that to Tanya in a heartbeat. I was like naming like all the couples, and I'm like, there isn't another guy out there dating an archer girl who would have called that effing arrow out. And he's like, I just call it how I see it. I don't give a shit who you are. I'm just like, you're like,
It's like, I don't know if I can do
He's
better.
like,
Dude,
I will never give you a free arrow call. Like
I was like,
that's
I've called,
them.
I've called my own arrow
Kill
out.
that. There's a spider. We have to kill it. Hold on. Oh my god, get it! It's running away. Okay, we're good.
That was a little aggressive, but I've called my own arrow out
I have too, but like,
on like it could have went either way, but it wasn't there, and I just like I can't take that point. Like it's not in.
yeah.
You're an
So
oak.
That
I got
one-
I like that.
I got a
That was
question
really
though about that because I don't know if it's just like a running theme by the style of tournaments that certain people shoot and whatnot.
I know where this is going.
I feel like there's like this desire for like something that's not in existence to suddenly be there. So like, oh, I think that would touch, something that came up, and I'm not pointing fingers, but it's just the word verbiage that was used. Is there scribe line there or something like that? Oh, I think you would touch the scribe line, or I think it would, the cut line would be right there, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, these are raglet targets. There is no cut line. There's only
Some of them have a cut, like a drawn pencil cut line. Like some of them
where
do.
it's supposed to be painted, yeah. And so
Yeah.
you call that, yes. But
Yeah.
I just
and
feel
then
like
and then
there's
the small targets like your pinups have a cut line.
Yeah.
yeah.
But most of them don't. You're right.
But so how would you call something that gets pushed up in the sense of like, oh, well, it pushed up the where the cut line would be, and then
Like it moved the integrity of the target.
it moved the integrity of the target, but the arrow shaft where it lies not
It's
really
touching the line.
Isn't touching the line, but
Or
it's
not.
target.
is
if-
not on.
So Reading,
Like if the line was here, but it goes like that, and your arrow's here,
yeah.
Yeah.
then yeah, it's in. You recreate the line.
So Reading,
Okay.
we're recreating lines.
100%.
Like indoor FIDA, we recreate lines. But in ASA,
We shoot real archery.
you call it where the line lays. So like if you pull it, and I hate this expression because people will pull the line and then still be out, and I'm like, no, F you still have to touch the line even though it pulled. But
Yeah,
like
it's like
if you pull it
this.
and you're touching, it's fine. And I've seen people where they literally hit in the integrity and it did push away, but in ASA that's still out. So ASA is like the one thing where we call straight up where the line lays. But other than that, we usually look for the integrity. The hard part about redding too is sometimes, especially day 3, whatever, if the targets are so shot up, like there is no line. So you're trying to do the best job you can to recreate
Yeah.
where the line should be essentially, based off that. But I don't know. I think arrow calling is like one of those things that you know the people who are like honest on the arrow calls, and then the people who are like just desperate trying to get
They,
any
like the
little thing.
politicers. They're like, I'll
Yeah.
scratch your back if you scratch my back.
Yeah,
Type of
we
thing. Like,
don't
I'll give
we
you
don't
this
play
one
that
because
game.
I know I need one later on down the road. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we don't play
Yeah.
that game.
Okay. Yeah. No. Just
I mean, I've had guys even like
same thinking.
indoors be like, well, 5 ends ago, I called yours in, and it looked exactly the same as this. I'm like, no 2 arrow calls are ever the same.
Ever.
And I'm like, we're not playing that game. I don't care that you called my arrow in. Like,
I'm still the asshole.
I'm still the asshole
down.
going to call your arrows in. If I don't think it's there, I will always try to put the arrow there. I'll always try to see the arrow touching
Yeah.
the line, because that's how you're supposed to call anyways. You're not supposed to try to call the arrow out. You're supposed to try to call the arrow in.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I can't truly call the arrow in from at least one point, then it's not in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. No. In agreement. Yeah. Just curious because it seems like from group to group, whoever's calling arrows, like it always seems like there's a different.
Oh yeah,
I
know,
stress about
it's
that.
very subjective.
Every year at Reading, I stress about that because, like, I know I will get 0 freebies. And I don't want freebies either. But it's not that I want the freebies. I don't want my competitors getting the freebies, if that makes sense.
No.
And
100%.
so, yeah, that's the one thing that does stress me out about Reading, where it's like, Reading is what it is because we shoot with groups that we like, actually. People you're forced to shoot with. But, like,
I always see that comment every year when Reading does their poll
they
afterwards.
always say,
Some-
make the pros shoot with their competition, blah, blah, blah. And, like,
Make it random, other than your partner you're shooting with.
yeah, and
It's like
then
that. I
Reading
think that
wouldn't
would
be
ruin the
Reading.
dynamic of Reading.
Like,
It wouldn't be what
Yeah.
Reading is.
It definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't be
anymore.
as fun. That's for
Yeah.
damn
No.
sure.
It really wouldn't. But I do stress a little bit. Like, we were at an ASA this last ASA or 2 ASAs ago. I don't even know. We were shooting it's called like the elite bonus shoot. There's like 10 targets and you shoot it for score and whatever. We were shooting with some guys and they were calling arrows. I was scoring. And they were calling, and I don't know, we're on like target 5 or 6. And I had an arrow that I had glassed and I knew it was out, like from my binos, and they call it in. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And I look and I'm like, that is way the F out. Like, no, that's a 10 or whatever it was. And they were like, what? And they like look again. They're like, no, that's good. I'm like, I'm writing myself a 10. Like, that's so effing far out. I wouldn't even. And so the other girl who's shooting with me looks at it. She's like, that's not even close. Like, that is so far out. It might have been Heather, honestly. And they were like, dude, if you tried to call that out on our range, like you'd be in a fist fight. Like people would be pissed. And they said, we just say if they're like that close, then we'll just call them in. And I was like, well, then where do you draw the fucking line of like, it's still kind of close and kind of not? Like,
Mhm.
if they miss by this far, this far, this far, I'm like, how do you do that? There's no integrity then. Do you just give everybody who hits remotely close like a freebie? And they were kind of like, well, yeah. And I was just like, F no. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, if the pros called like that, we would all come in 20 points higher over the weekend. No bullshit. Like, seriously, so many points higher. And I was like, we're down there with freaking flashlights and like, it needs to be touching or it is not getting called in. And he's like, well, that's how our whole division calls arrows. And I was just, we still talked about it like at the next ASA. It was like, that was the most mind-blowing thing to us hearing that like entire divisions were scoring that way. And I was like, that is wild to me. Like, that would never fly. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I know that like there's people like that who are calling in other groups. You know what I mean? There's where I was
Yeah.
going with that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't love that. And very often do I have arrow calls. I think that's literally like the only arrow call I've had in years. You know what I mean? So it's not that it's affecting me that much. It's that I don't want them shooting edgy ones and getting them called in.
Yeah.
Because
It'd be
obviously
almost
every point
cool.
matters there.
It'd be
Mine
almost
are
cool if you
either
had
in
to
or out.
qualify to be a a caller or something like that. Like, yeah, this person's
Yeah.
been through, I don't know what the hell it would be, some sort of like,
They have trainings for that actually, but
it'd be
let
cool to
me
be like,
tell
oh
you, the
yeah,
judges,
we put one on every target, or we've got to have one on this target, or whatever. I don't know.
the people who I know that are like actual judges, let's say through like USA Archery and stuff. Sorry, I hope none of them listen to this, but it's some of the worst fucking calling I've ever seen in my entire life. Like a blind man could call
Oh,
better.
yeah.
And so I'm like,
I
yeah,
had a
whatever
full
training you went through is bullshit because
Oh
you
yeah.
are horrid. Like,
I had a full-fledged, like, big-time meltdown
yeah, I don't even know
at a
if you
couple
tell
of
that
the
story.
tournaments. Oh, no,
I
we
think it
won't
took
we
me
won't
out
get
there.
into that
It was
one
a bad one.
when the recording's on, but I'll tell you guys afterwards. That was funny. But,
But
yeah, it
like,
was
I have seen some
like,
real,
and
real bad calls.
it's you see that everywhere, though, like, and it's embarrassing. It takes the integrity away from the game.
Yeah.
You know what I think we should normalize is having discussions about the arrow call. And like, I do this always. And in my ASA groups, I actually shot with some different people at this last ASA. And one of them said, I always really like shooting with you because when we have arrow calls, we discuss it and talk about it. And usually we all leave feeling good about it. And
Mhm.
so, like, I will literally get down with a flashlight and I'll say, this is what I think. And then someone else will be like, I disagree. Or it's their arrow, right? I still think it's in. And so I'm like, okay, get down here and show me where you see the line
Yeah.
that it's touching. And so I'll take like a pencil lead or something and have a flashlight and be like, I'm tracing the outside of the line and notice I never touched your arrow. Like, can you trace the line somewhere different that does touch? And they'll be like, okay, shit, you're right. But we discuss like what we're seeing and how we're seeing it. Cause there's sometimes where you look from one side, it looks a mile out, but then the next side it looks in. So it's like, okay, everybody look from this
Mhm.
side. Like, everyone truly sees it different. So that's where it's hard because you can say someone has integrity or doesn't, but like there is a margin for error there because everyone perceives it different. But I think it's really cool to be able to have those discussions because there have been times where people get down and they're like, this is what I'm seeing. And they've actually swayed what I thought I was seeing. I'm like, oh, actually, I agree. Now I agree.
Yeah.
But like, if we didn't do that, I'd have been leaving. She'd have been leaving, going like, "What a bitch!" She called me out, and I'd have been like, "What a loser!" Trying to get free points, and like, you just have that animosity.
Yeah.
And so I like actually getting down, talking about it, justifying why we're calling it, how we're calling it. And there's times in USA Archery where I wish we could look at the judges or even NFA, like, indoors, whatever. And I want to be like, touch the point of the freaking edge of the line that's touching the arrow. Show me. Cause I can put a fucking pencil through there.
Mhm.
And again, it's not them calling mine out, it's calling competitors
Yeah.
in, right? And it, I think if you could question people like that, or they had to actually show why
They were
they
held
called it the
accountable.
way they called it, I think a lot of that shit would change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like, or like you'll get in a group of people, and I'm sure you guys have all had it because we've all shot enough tournaments. But it's like whoever is like the caller, right? Like in a 4-person group, you'll have like your caller, your guy standing there like
Doing
observing, and then the two scorers, and it's like I'm calling them like, hey, look at this arrow. Then they look at it and they're like, okay, well they think it's out, I think it's in. So it's like, okay, we need one more person to look at it. And then both the other two people, obviously the person that's shooting really it's their arrow, they really can't have an opinion because they're always
Yeah.
gonna say yeah. So their opinion
That's
kind
not
of
true. I've called
well,
myself out sometimes.
no, I know, but most times their opinion really doesn't matter because
Yeah.
99%
It's a
of
biased
the times
opinion.
it's biased opinion. So then you have the third person sitting there, they're just like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, well, what would you call it? They're like, I don't know. You guys call it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like, fucking make a goddamn call. Like, it's not that hard. Like, quit trying to be the person who doesn't want to piss someone off. Like,
Mhm.
I'm okay with pissing people off.
We
Yeah.
don't have a lot of that actually. Like, we're pretty
Like,
good.
it is what
It
it is. Like,
happens.
you can't take it back. The arrow's already in the target now. So
Yeah.
Could have been better.
Yeah. But we do. I really like kind of how the women do that. I don't think the guys do that at all. Like, I definitely don't think they really talk about it. They just look and call it what they call it. But I
yeah,
think
there's not much discussion on the guys' range.
no.
It's just they
But
all bend down and look at it, and it's like, yeah, no, it's more Lord of the Flies.
yeah, but I think we like have better relationships because of that. Because it's not that like this person's being stupid or this one's being mean and this one, like you
Yeah.
really get down and you hash it out and you talk it out and we're like looking at, and I feel like everybody leaves pretty much in agreement most of the time. And so I do think that's a cool thing to do. And I kind of carry that over to everything. Like if we're at FIDA, that's not normal in FIDA, might I add. And if there's an arrow call, and I'll be explaining why I think it is in or is out, like depending on whatever it is. Kind of trying to normalize that over there, because I think if we all could actually do that, we would need the judge less, because the judge is a joke usually. So
Oh yeah.
it's like you might as well just flip a coin because it's stupid. But
No, I
Yeah.
I think
definitely
that's what they do half the time. I think they just flip a coin before when they're
Yeah.
walking over there,
this one's
and it's like, okay,
my
well,
brother.
let me flip this coin real quick because we don't see him. Well, this fucker's out.
God, some of the
Your
arrow
little
calls.
crystal ball.
Yeah.
They walk up and they look at her for like 5 seconds. Nope. I'm like, huh? Like,
Yeah. Or yes.
what are you
and-
talking about?
What?
When the fuck are you seeing this?
I have seen some crazy arrow calls over the
I-
years.
I definitely think that your approach is a good way to go about it, because I know
You keep
we've been
talking,
in
dude.
groups.
I've got to go pee so bad. I'll be right back.
I didn't have to go pee earlier. I was melting, so I went and got my little AC dealio turner oner. I was just like, I'm not going to interrupt them while they're talking. I'm just going to go get the remote so I can turn the AC on.
That's funny.
But I think it's definitely a good point to, like, there's nothing wrong with communication, right? Like, and so if you can communicate it and just, I think, God, man, I'm trying to think of a way to like explain this to where it doesn't have like one of those double-sided swords. And so, like, specifically with the guys, right? A little bit of ego involved, you know? And so I definitely see it on a lot of our bails where it's like you can tell, okay, I called you out and now you're upset about it.
And they're
I
gonna
mean,
try to call you out if they get the chance later on as like a
as a dig.
tipping the scale.
I mean, we even saw it this past weekend where it was like I'm like, hey, that's out. You know, it is what it is. And the person responded by being like, well, both of your arrows are out. That's a 20. And like, yes, my arrows were inside the dot at 12 and inside the dot at 6, but it was like that kind of that ego response of being like, oh, now I need to like assert
Get them back.
myself. Yeah.
Yep.
And he called me out, so now I need to assert myself. And it's like, we can just talk about it. If you want to come up here and explain to me why it's in, I'm more than happy to hear your explanation. It can definitely sway me if it's valid. I think that the way that I call arrows is pretty sound and robust. I don't think I'm generous, and I don't think I'm
Yeah. A jerk. Like, you
strict
call it how you see
either.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it and I approach every arrow as, how do I call this in, and would I call this if it's really one of those close ones. If this is my arrow, how am I looking at this that gives this arrow the same kind of chance that I would give my arrow? Because I don't want to ever try and take points away from you. But yeah, I think there's definitely like opening up the line of communication and just being like, hey, I think that's a really good point you made, is basically what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Paige. I think it's a great thing that could be added to the guy's side. I just do see the point where you get a couple egos involved, and then we got bows and people tumbling down the hill, going to blows.
Yeah, but we used to be catty before we did that. Like, it actually made us nicer in doing that. Like, we
Yeah.
were worse when we didn't used to do that, I think. For sure.
I don't think like I don't see it as much anymore. But like,
It's because all the guys who were really jerks
well,
retired. But
back in the day,
Aged
like
out.
there was a few like
yeah.
really, really, really big name dudes. Like they were the freaking guys back then. There was not very many other people that could beat them. It's not like today where there's 20 dudes that could go win, right? There was 5 or 6 guys that could go win, and it's like
or less.
But like I feel like the individuals that were at that level got points that they didn't deserve because other people were too afraid to call a big name person's arrow out.
I've seen that. Like,
And I've seen
I
it
believe that.
I've seen it like, and I'm like, dude, what the? And it's like you're a bail over and you're watching your competitor
get freebies.
get free points because the people on his bail are too damn afraid to call his arrow out because of the name on his shirt. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
I've
Like-
seen it. I've heard it both ways, and I've seen it the other way as well, where it's now you're getting points because you're able to explain something.
There is a lot of politicking. I've watched some people that are very, very good at politicking arrow calls, and I've watched them talk people in a circle at the target and get free points from it. And I'm just shaking my head laughing. I'm like, wow.
I saw it a couple years at Nashville Field where I'm calling and guy goes, I want a second. Both of those people call it in or call it out, agree with me, and then they talk themselves and flip those two other people. And I had to be like, wait, whoa. You just called it out. You didn't
Yeah, no,
relook. All you did was listen to him talk. So how
Yeah.
are you now flipping your thing? Oh, well, what he says makes sense. And it's like, that's not how that works. You just looked at it. You just saw it.
You made your call. Your call is final.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
We're not going back and rehashing this whole situation.
Yeah, you should call it with earplugs in. Don't let somebody fucking smooth talk you about it.
Yeah.
and
Silver
people are
tongue.
really good about that too. Like, oh yeah, that's in for a mile, you know, like just inputting that thought process into your head
Mhm.
before you get up there. But
Or
I've
yeah, they're like,
also,
oh boy, I thought that one was out. Like
Yeah.
implying that they already think that it's in type of thing. You hear
Yes.
that
Yeah.
sometimes. They're kind of like greasing the
You hear
skids
that
a
all the
little bit.
time.
Yeah, you're like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a thing.
But I mean, I've heard horror stories of, like you said, big names and whatnot. We had a couple guys that shoot for our shop that were on a target with, you know, a very, very well-known archer even nowadays. And they were in charge of calling and pulling. They called his arrow out. Now they're the odd pair out on this
Yeah.
on this group. Everyone else is buddies with this person. Everyone else calls his arrow in. They move on. They noticed the rest of the weekend, and they didn't care too much, that every time they had a close one, the whole group called it out. The whole group. After, and this was at Reading, and after the tournament, one of the guys from the target came over and said, rough weekend, huh? Yeah, you know, whatever. They're explaining, yeah, you know, it is what it is. We shot our best. And yeah, probably should have called blank person's name's arrow in and then turned
They
around and walked
said
away.
that?
Said it directly to
I
him.
remember this.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to know who this is once we're off camera. That's insane.
Yeah. Said, oh, you should have been something along the lines of like, you probably shouldn't have called this person's arrow out. Or
You should
oh,
always have
I
to
remember
on
what it is.
camera.
You
Like, that's
probably
fucked.
shouldn't have called that arrow out and you would have had a better weekend is what I
You're
think they
nicer than
said.
me because I'd drop that name a
I,
lot.
yeah, I would. I'd out him. That's fucked. Like, that's a different level of messed
I would
up.
drop that intentionally.
Intentionally.
And I'd write it in the title.
I would do.
Hey, go to 2 hours and 16 minutes and 12 seconds
Yeah, to see.
and see what douchebag we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys can probably
I pretty much already know who you're going to
guess.
say.
I actually don't because so
it
many.
wasn't the
could be,
person
but
though.
I-
It wasn't the person's arrow who said this,
Who
right? It was a
said that,
friend
yeah.
of them.
It
Right?
was the friend of the archer that came up and made the point of basically
Yeah.
saying, yeah, we hassled you guys after you fucked over our
yeah.
very large friend.
Yeah. 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 I got a good idea who that could be.
That's
Mhm.
funny.
Grade pool.
Round, maybe. Oh, I don't know, you know.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
you'd
man.
punch someone for that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no shit.
And
He's-
all
he's
of Greg's arrows are in if I'm calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to.
Don't hate me for
Don't
being
wanna-
nice.
Yes. Hey, man, I called yours in. I called it in. I called it
yeah.
in.
Oh,
Oh,
That's so
man.
funny. Yeah.
Well,
Well, what else? Anything? Real quick
I don't
before we
know.
jump off, are you guys going to the bow hunter games
absolutely.
Now, yes.
now?
So the NFAA was overlapped, and I just like did not know what to do because it was Dakota Classic and Outdoor Target Nationals, which then also basically screws you for Shooter of the Year. So to shoot that, it was like I give up 3 tournaments to go shoot the one, and everyone's like, "Well, that's a lot of money," and I'm like, "It is, but I make the same amount of money if I win all 3 of those other ones, which I
Mhm.
do sometimes." So it's like, you know, I'm better at Target anyway, so it's like I don't know. But the NFAA, there was a conflict where Riverboat Days booked on the same weekend. Thank God. I'm so glad because Bruce was too stubborn to move it otherwise, and so now he had to move it. So there's no conflict. So yes, I'm definitely going.
Tater tot?
That's
He's on the fence. I don't know.
On the fence.
He should shoot it. I don't know.
You shoot it.
My problem
Surprised
is
you're
I
not
shoot
having
an
to work it.
$8. Hopefully,
I might be
he might
working
work
it
it,
and
that'd
not
be
shooting.
awesome.
That would be better, actually.
No, you should go
No,
work
you
and
should
shoot
go
it.
out there and win that shit
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Just
You
like
could
you've
win it.
been
Like, you're shooting
crushing
good
it.
enough now. He sees good. So, like, for me on that, I know I can shoot plenty good to win. Like, I have no doubt in my shooting ability, but I shoot an 8 power for everything. And so when you take the magnification away from me,
Mhm.
I am shitty. And so I don't know how I'm gonna do. Like, it could be really bad. I'm actually going to, I think this week or next week, I'm gonna work on that setup a little bit and just like have because I have some 3D targets here and just have like a rough idea of like how good or how bad it's gonna be because I really don't know.
Mhm.
But the scene is gonna be the hardest part for me. I actually said I may have to go back to the eye doctor and bring my glasses, those old glasses out of
Oh,
retirement.
Jesus.
These
Those
ones.
Jeffrey Dahmers.
Oh, yep. Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it otherwise. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. So we'll see. The stack of heat might help. That'll be an interesting thing to play with no magnification and
Oh, yeah.
Are you
I
allowed
don't
to
know,
run
but
that for it?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah, yeah.
I know.
But because
It
I
seems like
actually
it's
hunt
gonna be
with
cool.
those, like I would hunt with that same thing. So what's cool is at least whatever I figure out for this, I'll probably end up running
The
hunting.
only shitty part is it's right in the middle of hunting season. Whoever keeps putting these tournaments in hunting season should get kicked in the nuts.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
It's
It's not
second
opening
weekend
weekend,
of
but it's
pro
the
season.
second weekend. Yeah.
It's
But opening
raggedy.
weekend, I have USA Outdoor Target Nationals. Then that weekend, I have the bow hunter thing. And then the next weekend, I have the NFAAs. So basically, I just like kiss deer season goodbye.
Ugh.
It's like,
They're
okay.
just raggedy rat deer from
Oh, dude.
California, right, Tate?
I still
Dude.
like killing them.
I still love killing them.
Still makes me happy.
Fork
Yep.
spikes for days, baby.
No,
Mhm.
I
For
want them to
dinner.
at least have 2 forks.
Oh man, we're gonna do it. I'll get the shop involved, but we're gonna make it. It's gonna have a nice little purdy little
Yeah.
fork on it, and it's gonna say "Killing tomorrow's trophies today."
Yeah.
I got her dad a shirt that's
Yeah, he did. He bought
baby club or baby
Baby Killer Club.
baby killer club or something like that. Yeah. And then the next day he wore it when he was down in Arizona coos hunting. He shot like the smallest coos deer in the history of coos deer ever. And he was wearing that shirt. And he's like, I had my lucky shirt on today. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
California
It was
man.
thing. For
the
sure.
the shirt had a picture of a fork spike and it said Spoon and Crockett Club.
Hell yeah.
The Crockett Club.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
Are you guys gonna go?
I would like to try to swing that because that seems just like the event and the amount of like,
Hype.
yeah, it seems like I bet it'll be cool for sure. But
It's just gonna be another archery tournament with a pile of money on the end of it.
yeah, it would just be cool to go and do something a little different, do a little, like travel for it. But like, dude, I am so tunnel visioned on some of the deer I found last year. I just want to get back up there and
Yeah,
start
if it
looking
wasn't in the
around
middle
again.
of hunting season, like it'd be
Yeah.
cool. But like
Yeah,
it's in the middle of hunting season, like God,
I know.
Yeah.
so dumb.
It probably won't happen for that reason, but boy, is it sure tempting.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I had giant deer, it would be very hard to pull me off of that, or a
True.
big elk I had an elk tag or something like that. Like,
I mean, I am excited for it though. Kudos to Josh for pulling that together and like making
Yeah,
it
it's just good for
happen.
the
And
sport.
yeah, it's not often that we get new exciting things. Like OPA was the last
just
one,
gonna
and it
say
was
that.
so freaking awesome at first, and then died a miserable, painful death. So it was like nice to have something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something new coming back. I like OPA better than All Like this one because it had people.
100%. OPA was awesome. I loved
OPA was,
OPA.
in my opinion, like the best format you could get. It was like a combo of like Reading and
No, I
ASA
remember.
together, and I thought it was kick ass. But
That's
this
what we
is just
shot
cool
up there
because
in
it's new
Idaho.
and different. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
top
like-
pin was similar.
Yeah.
I remember watching
So-
those shoots and just being like, that's something like, it was like Vegas. I was like, I'm going to go to one of those one day. That looks so cool. And then it died.
What
And
was
it
the
died.
name of that tournament series that happened like I think mostly in Europe? I think it was called like the
Pro Series.
Pro Series.
Yeah.
Those were amazing.
was
And there's been rumors that they could be brought back. And like if they did, I would probably go shoot them. Like I had never decided to do it. And then I had talked to bowtech and they were like, yeah, like that's actually really cool. Let's do it. And they'd like okayed me to put it on the contingency schedule and go shoot like the full tour of that. And that's the year it got canceled.
Mm.
And I was so sad.
What
What's he doing?
about
Oh, my phone's dying. He just like took off. I'm like, where's
Oh.
he going?
what about this APX shoot that a lot of those guys that are in Shanghai right now went and shot before.
So,
Do you
what are
know
you looking at?
anything about it?
No, I don't know much. Like I heard a little bit about it, but I saw some photos and stuff from it, and it looked like they had like their Sports Illustrated there.
Yeah, it
Just
looked
up
cool.
like, uh, doing like cool stuff with the guys, and like Jimmy's pretty the most boring person to write ever on posts. Like P2, good weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
And Jimmy actually put effort into writing a post saying how great it was and how cool it was and like all the stuff. So just reading Jimmy's post and how pumped he seemed, I'm like, it must have been cool as shit to actually make him write a quality Facebook post. Sorry, Jimmy, don't hate me for that. But like, that was literally our conversation. I'm like,
It
damn,
looked cool.
he was definitely liking it. But you know, what's cool is archery is a big deal in some of these other countries. Like, if you got together a bunch of pro baseball players or basketball players, like here in the US, that's a big deal. In some of those other countries, like they view the archers as equally cool as those people we do, right?
Yeah.
And so like India did that really cool thing at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people I know who went, they said it was absolutely incredible. It was a game changer. It was the most fun they've ever had in archery. There was like full stands and cheering, and like the whole country was like in on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which we don't have here in the US for archery. And I'm pretty sure, judging by the vibe and everything that was happening, that's kind of how that event in China was. So it's just really hard to compare. I actually said to Tate, I said, they're probably having a really hard time at the World Cup right now because they just went from what it would feel like if you were a real pro athlete to
Mm-hmm.
back to what archery really is. And I said, they're probably salty as hell at the World Cup. Like, why can't everything be as cool as what we just did? Because it is an overwhelmingly neat feeling
Yeah,
when it
that's a
is
pretty.
different like
That,
that.
that that looked really cool. What they were doing over there.
And it looks like they throw 12 rings out in the 7 and
7.
or,
So they had
yeah.
a 12 ring, and then
Then
they
there was like an
also had a
instant death ring.
yes, and so you could only call it once in a match, and it was like at the 5 and 6, and if
Yeah.
you hit it, you instantly won. The match was over.
Hmm.
But if you missed it, it's a 5 or 6. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
or 0. So like,
You'll also lose.
yeah. So it's
You
kind
either
of
win or
like,
lose.
it's
There's no
just
in
like the
between.
12 in Lancaster. Like where Lancaster put the 12, if you miss, you pretty much lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can miss on the high side and still catch a 9 and be.
Yeah, but if you shoot a 9, you missed it pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that's embarrassing. But like, whatever. If you miss it close, it should be an 8 or a 7.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
man.
so, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Like they were excited about it, and then it looks like everybody who went obviously shot well and had a good time. And I'm excited to I'll ask Jimmy and Louie and Brady and all of them who went like how it was, but I'm sure they'll have good things to say.
Yeah, that 12 ring, like I remember when Stefan just came on and basically said we're shooting a 12 every round. And I thought for sure that was okay, well, this is what's gonna happen from now on. And then you watch the shoot ups this year and it's like all calm and
Well, they changed the rules. So it used to be that you could only shoot it once per end. And it really sucked because you either forced someone to shoot at every end or no one would use it till the last end. Now what they did is you can only call it 4 times for the whole match, but it can be on any arrow at
So you
any
can shoot
end.
for your first 3 arrows could go 12, 12, 12.
Yeah. But what everybody did is they would
Oh.
shoot all the way through, and then the third end, like last arrow, always got insane because someone was shooting for the 12. And then a lot of times the last 3 arrows, like
Were 12s.
everyone shot for 12s. So more 12s were actually shot at this year with the rule change. It was just all at the end of the match instead of the beginning. So I actually liked it. I thought it was more exciting to watch just because it sucks. Like, why would you want to shoot at one in the first end if the other person doesn't and you're all just
Yeah.
kind of shooting par? Like, because if you miss it, you already lost. Like, you just gave it up. So,
Well,
like,
Dave tried to be like the starter of the whole thing.
it
The
didn't
one
go
year.
so well.
stomped it his
Yeah.
And it was his very first arrow like 4 years ago, and he shot a 6 his first arrow. It's
I
like he
remember
tried to do it,
um,
but like you're done there. And it's like that's another thing I think we should normalize in archery. If you are at a point in any time in the match that it is unrecoverable, you should just be able to walk off and leave. You should just be able to be done shooting. Like if I'm out on the Lancaster stage and you try to be a cool dude and punch the 12 on your first arrow and shoot a 7, and it's like, why do I need to stand up here and shoot 11 more arrows and look like a jackass in front of everybody for
I'm
no
just
reason?
wasting your time.
Like I'm wasting your time and my time. Like I'm out of here. good shooting. You beat me because I'm an idiot. Like,
Just look at the other guy and goes, dang it.
yeah.
Damn it.
That
All right. Later, bud. I'll see you.
Yeah, see you guys.
yeah. On to the next one.
But I mean, like, I've been in matches before where it's like you open up like 28, 29, and the dude opens up 30, 30, and you're shooting
You're like-
against like Jimmy or Stefan or Mike or Matthias. You're like,
I'm
well,
done.
this is fucking point. This next 3 ends are pointless. Like,
Yeah.
why am I even shooting?
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
if
Never
he
mind,
walked off,
forget
but
it.
if he walked off and left, you'd look like an even bigger asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can't
thought-
do that.
I thought it was hilarious when we were shooting against each other, Paige, at Todd's thing,
Yep.
and I was like, I'm not going out on a 12. I'm just gonna shoot, and if it, if I win, I want it to be just on raw score. And I think I went like XX10, XX10, and you were just clean on X's. So I was like, oh, I have to shoot 3 perfect X's, and she has to drop 3 X's for me to have a
Yeah.
chance. I'm like, I'm already out of here. I'm just gonna shoot three real comfortable shots. And I mean, I just smoked the first 2, and I double clutched. I came off the back wall, and and then I ripped back and I hit the back wall, and it went off. And I was like, damn it. And we walked down there like, oh, hey, you went for it. Good. I was like, that's not
Yeah,
at all
because
what the
both
fuck
are
happened.
I said, good for you, buddy, for going
Good
for
for
the 12.
trying.
And he's like,
Yeah.
you're a dick. I didn't.
Yeah, that wasn't what happened at all. It was a much more drastic. It probably looked like I was falling down or something.
I was shooting, so I didn't see him like double
Yeah.
clutch. I had no idea. I was just like, oh, good for you. Tried to shoot the 12.
Oh, that's cute.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's
And
hilarious.
I sent Tate packing just a couple weeks earlier too. Yep.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, which one?
I lost to Mark.
You lost to Mark? Where?
Yes.
At the New Year's shoot?
Yeah.
I thought I knocked you
Super
out.
Bowl shoot.
No, not the Super Bowl shoot, the
That
New
little
Year's
fun
shoot.
one you went.
I didn't shoot the New Year's one. I shot the Super Bowl shoot.
You shot one other one too.
Yeah, you shot
Did you
the
guys
New
do
Year's
one in
shoot.
Shasta or something?
I shot the Super Bowl shoot.
We did.
Yeah, but you came down for the New Year's shoot.
No, I didn't. I only came down there that one day and I left my bow. So then I had to drive all the way back home and come back down the next day.
Is that it? Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
got
it
it
was,
backwards.
it was a Super Bowl
That
one.
was a
I swear you
shit
shot two
story,
of them
John.
also.
Well,
Uh-uh.
whatever.
John's probably right and Tate's deflecting.
No, because you shot against Muhammad and beat him. And then Mark beat me in the semis. And then I beat Muhammad in the bronze. And you got second to Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that day you had them fancy donuts?
Yeah, I did. I
That's
brought
what you
fancy
were
The
doing.
day
donuts.
after I built your 3.2s for you.
Yep.
See? Told you I'm right.
Okay, you're right.
Damn,
My
he's
bad,
got you
my
to the.
It's kind of like
To the
Rain
minute.
Man. Like,
I thought John was bad. That was impressive.
yeah.
Who did I know? Maybe was it Alan?
Probably.
I remember there
It
was.
could have been Alan.
I remember.
Alan's
it
not here
might
to
have been
defend
Alan.
himself. Alan
So we'll
sucks.
just say it was Alan.
Fuck you, Alan.
Must have been Alan.
Oh man. Yeah, no.
I love that guy.
Muhammad went for all 12s when he was shooting against me, and I was like, "This isn't gonna last."
Well,
I'll
because he
just
made the
pound-
rules on the Super Bowl one. He's like, there's no limit to how many 12s you can shoot. You can just shoot as many as you want.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Muhammad just was like going full ham on him. It's
Big
like, what are you
dick stuff.
doing?
Yeah,
I'm not that good.
And then I shot against him in the bronze match, and I walk up, I shot like 11, 11, 11. Did we shoot 3 ends or 4 ends there? We shot 4 ends, right? 3?
3 or 4. 3. I
Yeah,
think 3.
3. Yeah, it was 3. I went 11, 11, 11 the first end. And then the next end I went 12, 12, 11. And he's over there like just dinking around shooting 11s and didn't even realize that I was shooting 12, that I already shot 2 12s. And then I shoot my first arrow the third end and I pipe a 12. And he looks over, he's like, oh, I got to go for 12s now because you shot an 11. And I'm just like, dude, you can't catch me. You already lost. I can shoot 2 9s and you already lose. Like, he's like, oh,
Sleep at the
I need to
wheel.
pay attention to people's math better. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
That's funny.
Well, he went out to me just on the fact that I just went for X's, and I think I dropped 1 X against him, and he
He
hit
shot a
like
couple 7s.
yeah, he hit a lot of 12s, but
But
you hit 1 7, you hit 1 8, and it's
4
a lot.
12s back.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's. So
Got
what do
lots
you
to come
guys
back.
think about the risk reward stuff? I'm gonna say I don't like it only because to me, pro archery is about being the best and beating somebody. And so the way that I look at it is I'm like, they made all this stuff to make it like exciting and help the people that sucked. But I'm like, if you already lost enough that you want to start flinging at 12s, you deserve to lose and the other person deserves to win. Like the other person showed up and did their actual job. You don't deserve a safety net to like come back.
Yeah.
So I don't actually like it. I like it from a spectator standpoint, but
Yeah.
as an actual pro archer that pays my bills doing this, I think it like takes away from the integrity of what we're actually trying to do, which is be the best.
And I
Not
think,
be
Yeah,
sucky,
it's
not be shitty and lose and then get lucky
yeah,
when
Yeah.
someone else just stood there and did their job right in the first place.
yeah, we had the
I don't
same
know.
conversation. I basically asked Matthias, what do you think is a better standard for a champion? Someone who goes 23 ends of X's against, like him and Bodie did at Rushmore Rumble a couple years ago, or you win by 1 point by shooting a 12. What do you think is the higher standard of being a champion? And
He said the 23 ends, right?
yeah,
We
basically
all would.
it's
Yeah.
it's perfect, right? And that's what we're going for. It's the perfect scoring. And
Yeah.
so that was during that whole time where everyone was hot and heavy about the inside out X's and
Yeah.
Mhm.
what's going to change and all these things. And so now I think that's a little bit more settled with the new Vegas target going down
And
in
I think
size.
pretty much everybody likes the new Vegas targets. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
hard to argue against them. Like there was,
Mhm.
we
Dude,
all
that little
know.
bastard is hard to hit. Like,
Tell them about your practice back.
we were back in the practice session and they had the big target sitting there, like or I call it the big target,
The
the
normal
normal
target.
target,
Yeah.
Then they had the 1.5 and the 1, and it's like, so we all put up the 1.5 and we were shooting like the middle target. Dude, you can shoot an arrow inside the 10 line and inside the X line, even in the middle target, and not hit. You can shoot inside out Big 10 and not hit the X on the medium target. And I'm like, there is no part of me that wants to fucking practice on the little target before I go out there and hurt my feelings anymore. Like,
Said he kept
fuck
missing.
that.
He kept missing them, and he was just like, "This is making me feel bad." And he just hung the big target.
I was like, fuck that. And I hung the normal size target back up. I'm like, I'll deal with that shit if I get there later
Yeah.
on in the night. Like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Fuck this.
Yeah,
I was-
that's so fun.
I was pretty sure based on what I could see from the video that like Bodie was inside the 10 line on the one that he went out on, but he was just off that X. And like,
Yeah.
I'm
can
pretty,
shoot it inside out in the middle target.
yeah,
Like in the middle size target, you can shoot an inside out Big 10 with a 27-12 and not touch the X line.
that's what it looked like on his target it was like just barely off the X, but also clearly inside the 10 line.
Yeah,
for the
you
one
got
that
to
he went out
you
on.
have to make a freaking money shot. And then when they get down to that little
The
tiny
little
bastard,
one. Oof.
oh my gosh. Like that one is tiny. Like
I don't think they even
tiny,
got to
tiny.
it this year, did they?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we were all saying that. We were all sitting in the back room and it was like, how long do you think this is going to go? And someone was like, oh, it's going to go that we'll easily get into the 1 centimeter. I'm like, no. Well, it's going to be, I was like, I bet you it's one within the first 2 ends of the 1.5. Like,
that's
no
what it
way.
was.
Like, we won't get to the 1 centimeter. It'll be one in the 1.5.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, whatever. Well, I'm like, no, Perkins even said it too. He's like, it ain't going to the 1. It'll be
Yeah.
one in the 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a cool idea. I like it better than
Because it still
going
keeps the level of precision
Yeah.
high.
like it still keeps you have to hit the middle. It's not luck and shoot an inside out arrow.
Well, it's
Yeah.
consistency too. Like you could shoot one inside out and shoot 2 fat 9s by the 8 line and win with that.
Yeah.
How is that the most accurate person when
Mhm.
somebody shot 3 like 3/4 shaft X's? They are actually better. So
Yeah.
again, the inside out X kind of took away from the integrity of like who's actually better, who's actually doing their job more consistently, where this new one does reward the person who's the most consistent.
The new target we have now is like the closest thing we have to like what they do in like air rifle, where they score at like 9.9, 9.8, 9.7, and they score like where the plane of the projectile breaks the target.
I wish we
right?
could do that.
Like that's how all like the air rifles and like the competitive like Olympic pistol and rifle shooting stuff is done with. Like this now target we have now,
I just mean like integrity.
yeah, is the closest we have to that now. It's like it doesn't matter really anymore, if you shoot a big arrow or a small arrow, like the target is getting smaller. You still have to hit the middle. The
Yeah.
middle is now like the objective rather
And then just edgy.
than just edgy.
Yeah. I kind of wish a lot of the archery stuff would be made really hard again. Like when I first started and we all sucked and like missed all the time, it was way more fun as a pro back then. Like now that almost shoot
Everything
2
has to
down
be
at
clean
Reading
now.
and you barely make the podium, that's fucked. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like honestly, and here's what sucks about archery. They always want the pros and the amateurs to shoot the same thing because it's like the amateurs need to compare. Fuck that. I'm so over that. Like the amateurs deserve to shoot and have fun and do their own thing, but I don't think we should be forced to like hold back what pro archery needs to be
Mm-hmm.
so we're the same. Like I hate that. And they're like, well, they want to be able to compare. And it's like, then buy the targets and practice at home or just jump into the pro division and try it. Like, I don't know. But I love what we did at field where we could score like the X is a 6, but we still score in a way that they can compare. Like that target
Mhm.
made it possible. But
Yeah.
It's still a
there's
560
there's
or a
yeah, but
yeah.
there's so few tournaments in the year that I go to that I'm like, okay, I can actually win this. Like if I shoot my ass off, I can get ahead and I can win. And that used to be a lot of stuff was like that. And I loved it and I thrived on that. And I get so freaking bored when it's like, okay, you just can't miss. Everything's got to be like
Yeah.
par is just hitting it. And then if you miss, your weekend's over. Like too much of it is that now, and I really think it takes the fun out of it. We were talking about with bowtech the last 2 days, and I said, we used to practice and we weren't perfect and we weren't good. And so you could like actually see improvement and like
Mhm.
work toward getting better. And I said, now everything you shoot, it's like you either hit it, and if you hit it, you're not happy. You just are expected to hit it. So you're never actually happy with how you shot. You're only pissed when you missed. Where
Yeah.
it used to be you'd hit something and be like, yes, I hit that.
Mhm.
Now you just like, okay, I didn't miss and I shouldn't miss and I can't miss. So like fucking move on to the next one. So to me, I've seen it change because I've obviously been in the pro circuit long enough now to watch that evolution happen. And like, I wish that so many of the different formats would like take it a step up where it was really hard again.
Yeah.
And then we had to keep pushing the envelope. Like it's just boring, a lot of it now,
That's
honestly.
Like there
something.
was a lot of like there is some targets like in Reading now, like still that kind of have that feeling. Like your elk herd, like you hit the elk herd, you're like pumped, you hit
The
it.
elk are
Mhm.
freaking hard.
Right? Like you hit the buffalo, you're like, yeah, sweet, I got the buffalo. Like there's a couple of those targets where you're like pumped when you hit it. Most of the targets, it's like cruise control. You just kind of go autopilot and you're like, yep, expect to hit this, expect to hit this,
Yeah.
expect to hit this, expect to hit that. Where like OPA, there was a lot of target. There were
Or
some
break the
targets that like you
barriers
step
even.
up and it's like you
There's a
break the
couple
barriers.
things, yeah.
There's a couple gimmies, but it's like, dude, some of them targets like even break the barriers. Like there's some of them targets that are freaking stout, man. Like
Mhm.
that mule deer on like it's like target
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, that
5.
uphill one?
Target 5
Yeah,
Six.
that's
on the
Mhm.
target 6.
Yeah.
Dude, that target is I don't care who you are. That target's a ball buster.
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't even mean like Reading. I just mean like all of archery across, in general. Like ASA is fine. Like that's totally fine because we have the 12 game, so it's different. But like shooting FIDA, shooting indoor, shooting, which is over half of our year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I just would love to see it where we had to work our ass off to actually hit it instead of just trying not to miss. Like
Let's
this is my
make
personal opinion. Like
let's make 90
I miss
meters
shooting back
FIDA
then.
again. Let's make FIDA 90
Yeah.
meters again.
Even if they're gonna keep us at 50, I wish they could just shrink our target, essentially. Or make the X count as an extra point or score the X as 10 and the 10 is 9. I don't care what it is, but like I wish the unit of measure got more challenging because there's no doubt that the people have gotten better and the scores have improved and the depth is higher and the consistency is higher than ever before in everything. And so like I think at some point we need to evolve. And I get it. I get why they don't. It's hard. And then, like I said, you can't make it too hard or the amateurs aren't going to enjoy it. So it has to
Yeah.
be something like, we were talking about Reading and we were saying if they shrunk dot sizes or went one dot size smaller on every target, I said, dude, the amateurs would have a miserable time. Like, that's not really fair to them. That sucks. Like,
Yeah.
there's certain events like Reading where it's just not really feasible, but
I don't
there's
know.
whole other formats that it could be,
I thought
it
about that
could
over
be
this
done.
weekend because we'd all talked about going into it like, oh, somebody's going to clean it because the weather was tits and all that stuff. And, a couple years of that being cleaned and that being the new standard, I was just walking and thinking like, if they went down one size for all these yardages, like it'd be similar to kind of like BTB a little bit, and then like and the amateurs can shoot it too. It's just now clean is not the now it's back to do your best you can type of thing, and you know
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just liked when I felt like you could get ahead. Like in so much of pro archery nowadays, it's like we shot arrows and this person missed one, this person didn't, and we're done. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same allure. And like I said, the people who are new in it are gonna hear me say that and be like, whiny crybaby, but they didn't shoot back then when the standard was different. Like
Hmm.
I look at the World Cups now, and when I first went, like if you shot a 680 in the women's class, you were like really good and you were top 8 and it was like a big deal. And like now, if you're not over 700 to 704, 705, like you're shit, like you shoot in the 690s, it's like, oh, like that's embarrassing, where that would have been a god back when I started. So
Hmm.
it's like, it's just changed so much that I think back, and the few formats that we still have, like feed a field, NFA field, break the barriers, like all of those events where you can excel, I have so much more fun shooting them,
Yeah.
because if I miss one, my whole weekend isn't over.
Yep.
And I can still be rewarded for hitting the middle more than other people and like try to get back
Yeah.
ahead. And to me, that's like what makes the sport fun. So I
Yeah.
hate it. Like on the pro circuit, there's like 4 events a year that I go to that mean so much to me and I care about. And I like, even if I'm not shooting the best, I'm just having so much fun shooting them because the standard is higher and I'm
Hmm.
trying to hit something. And then I shoot 5 in a row that are like those par events. And I'm just like, I really hate these. Like, I
Yeah.
kind of hate where we are in pro archery right now. Like, I wish we could change that.
That's what's unique about BTB is it is so much more challenging. You
I
have
love it.
those I don't, they're like a
Little
silver
12s.
dollar at 77 and 75 yards for the elk and the bear out there.
That is the best format in archery, period. Like, I do not
Yeah.
believe, other than NFA field, I think NFA field's awesome too. But excluding that, there's nothing else that even comes close to the format quality, in my opinion. Like, if you're a pro,
Hmm.
than BTB. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
you get
love
one
it.
arrow, you got to hit the middle. Um, it
Yeah. And you're
or
not out of it
not.
if you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, if you have one bad one, it's not like, well, I just practiced for 2 months and my whole weekend's over.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's what so much of it is now. It's
Yep.
like, crap, I missed. Now I better get like gunned down and pound some 12s and make a
Hmm.
comeback and, hit the middle more essentially instead of just like playing par.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people shooting nowadays that have just come in recently don't even know what that's like because the game has been elevated so much. They've come in while it's elevated. They don't know anything different. But like the good old days were definitely the good old days. I would love to see like a full reset across the board. Like, let's make this shit hard again.
Let's just
So you're
go
just
to
happy when you hit it.
modern bow hunter. Let's go.
Yeah.
Says the state champion.
Eh,
Don't say it.
Very
there's room.
easy
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
so cool.
There's
That is so
room.
cool.
There was a pro archer that when you were first coming onto the scene, Paige, um, she was the Paige of back then. Do you
Yeah.
remember who that was?
Well, it'd be Erica or Jamie. One of those two
Erica.
or both.
That's the name. I just didn't
Yep.
remember. Someone, I think it was Brian Webb, was telling me, no, this girl, she was the beast,
Yep.
um, and then she stopped shooting, and that's when the monster developed. So,
Yeah. She actually, like, I mean, her and Jamie, like, dominated for a very, very long time. But I had caught her and passed her before she quit,
Mhm.
actually, which was kind of cool. Like, we're friends now. Like, she's cool. She works for the NFAA, actually. So that's kind of neat. Um, but yeah, no, they were good. I mean, and I remember shooting Reading, and it was a thing for like most of my life. They were like, no woman will ever shoot a 1530. It's impossible. Can't be done. And like, we believed that for a really, really long time.
Hmm.
And so, to shoot a 1536 this weekend, like, then I shot a 1530 and a couple other girls did too, Linda, Toya, whatever. And
Hmm.
then people literally said, but no woman will ever shoot a 1535. Like, that will never happen. That was like all of a sudden the new standard. Then I did that a few years ago. And I even said, like, I don't know that that'll ever be beat. Like, how could a woman do that? And then I just did it this year. It even blew my mind. And so Like, just in the redding terms, like, I used to shoot a 15-25 and win redding by over 10 points.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened in so many years.
Yeah.
Like, the game is just different, you know? Everyone's gotten so much better, and a lot of people like to say it's equipment. I don't really think it's equipment. I think some of it's equipment, but I think it's just
It's the
because the
ability,
standard is there. Yeah, and, like, you know, I say
the
this all the
resources
time.
out there. Like
Yes.
everybody's like, there's
You
no
can
guarded
read
information
or
like there
help.
used to be.
Like, I
Yeah.
had to go learn all the stuff I make videos on by trial and error myself.
I mean, the
Like,
bow's a
now
lot easier to work on nowadays. There's not like
Yeah.
yeah,
you can pull the bow out of a box from almost any manufacturer and just shoot the bow. You don't need to like
yeah.
know what this particular bow wanted to make it go to the next level of performance or unleash a new level that bow can perform at. Right? Like there was bows
Yeah.
back in the day that like there was certain things if you did
Little cheat codes.
there was little cheat codes that if you found and figured it out, like it made this bow 10 times more forgiving than it was if you didn't do that to it.
But
Or
back
now
then,
you
no
don't
one would
need that.
no one would share their secrets. Like, it was a really
You
quiet
had to
thing.
be like a bone. You had to be your own mechanic and like know
Yeah.
how to work on your
Mhm.
stuff and do
Yeah.
the stuff yourself because nobody was sharing that stuff back then.
But I actually think social media elevated the game a lot. Like, when you had to start from scratch and knew nothing, you had to learn it yourself. Very few people put the effort in to learn it themselves. Nowadays, you can go on YouTube and look up any topic and find hundreds of videos
Yeah.
teaching you different ways to do everything. So it's like, I actually say in my seminars, and it might sound mean, but I just tell the truth. And I'm like, listen, it's never been easier for you to learn this stuff and learn how to work on your bow than it is right now.
Yeah.
Like, I had to learn this shit by trial and error and actually screwing it up. And like, you have so many videos and so many resources showing you how. If you're still too scared or like unwilling to do it, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Because like the people, you know, a couple generations in the archery game before you did not have any of the resources that you guys have now. I don't think people realize how lucky they are to have that stuff. Like, so many of the videos even that I share, I can't imagine one of my pro women competitors. They never would have given me a hint or told me
Mhm.
any of that or helped me. Like, they didn't want to help you to help their competition succeed. And like, I'm posting that shit all the time. And I know that they're watching it and learning from it because they'll tell me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't love that.
Hmm.
But also, like, I'm more than willing to keep helping the archery community. So I'll do it. So, like, it's just a different world now.
And it's always in people's face now too, like right, like the skill level that people are shooting and the scores they're readily available for anybody to find via the internet. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like back in the day,
You had to
that
wait for the
wasn't
magazine.
out there. You had to wait for the magazine. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
people posting pictures and this stuff. Like it wasn't. You weren't seeing people do the thing that you were trying to do all the time. Now you
They
can find it every day, anywhere you
Mhm.
want to
you can
look.
scroll reels for hours,
Yeah,
you know?
and it's
Yeah.
like you can see this level of archery that you want, like you aspire to be from a young age. Now it's like you can watch the best dudes in the world every single day shoot their bow.
Yeah.
Where
You get-
you never got to see that unless you were at an archery lucky enough to go to a big archery tournament and see them shoot for 20
Mhm.
minutes before.
Yeah, it's just different. It's
Yeah.
all different now.
Yeah. And there's
Well,
people, like you said, there's people out there like showing you what's possible, making you want to push it further, you know?
Mhm.
definitely. Well, guys, we won't.
3
Yeah,
fucking hours. That's a record.
yeah, that's a new record.
Longer than that because we had like a 20
Yeah,
minute
we're at
start.
3:03.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is 303.
okay.
So
Good Lord.
we're
But
done.
I'm
Lights out.
ready for bed. I
Mm.
actually quit yawning. I got like past the point of
Got your
tired.
second win.
I started yawning.
I know.
Yeah,
I noticed
look.
it.
don't do it now. We've talked about it, and I'm gonna
Now
do it
I'm
again.
hosed because she's gonna be friggin' vampire mode the rest of the night.
Ugh.
I have been going straight. I had the ASA before Vegas, and I have not
Oh,
had
that
a
was a big
weekend off since before then.
Oh, damn.
So this is my first weekend off in like a ton of weeks. And there were so many different formats in there, so many different bows and setups, a transition from indoor to outdoor. Like, I am fucking burnt, honestly.
Oh, I
Like,
bet.
I
Yeah,
told
I
him, I'm
bet.
like, I kind of just want a day to like do a
A
whole lot of
day? I'd take
nothing.
a week.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't. Shit, there's so
Can't.
much to do. I don't know that I have time, but even a day would be nice, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the plan.
Well, I want to end it on a quick personal question. I already asked young Tater Tot there this question last weekend. You're running a blade, right, Paige?
Yep.
Okay. What are your thoughts on blade backers?
I don't see the point because when I've done testing, the weaker blades tend to be more forgiving, and a backer is just going to stiffen the blade. And so I purposely shoot an 8 for most everything because it tends to be more forgiving for me. And so I'm like, yeah, I just don't like if I wanted a blade backer, I could just go to a 10 or go
Yeah.
to a 12 and just make
All right.
myself a stiffer blade. But when I do
Sounds
that,
good.
it groups worse and it's less forgiving. So I just don't.
Put a
All right.
different rest on your bow, John. You won't have the issue you're having.
It's fine. It shot fine this weekend. It wasn't the
I have
bow.
no clue
It
what
was
you're even talking about or where that question stemmed from. So that was just my honest feedback.
So I just no, I that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I put on a new blade in February after indoor, and I shot a 12 blade for a long for the last couple of years just because it tuned
Why?
better. It just tuned better with the long
What do you
draw
mean when you say it tuned better?
paper.
She's not buying it.
Fuck
Back
the
out.
paper.
Back out.
John, you went down a rabbit hole. We're gonna be here for another 3 hours.
Yeah,
Shut your
no.
mouth.
Like paper tune means
Oh my God, here we go.
nothing. Like how does it shoot? That's what matters.
This
I'm
was
gonna
a
have to listen to this
long.
all night now.
This
I
is
ain't
a
going to
long
sleep.
time ago. This is a
Fuck
long
you,
time
John.
ago.
Typing you books on
Yeah.
like I'm just sending you my videos.
It's
Like
gonna,
what do you
and it's gonna be a voice message, so I ain't sleeping either. So fuck you, John.
Look, the goat said that I'm fucking up, so I'll try something else, you know? I'll listen when Paige says it.
like go try an 8. It'll blow your freaking mind.
With a 464 grain arrow?
Yeah.
I
I shot a fucking 27-12 with a 300 grain point at 31.5 inches off of an 8-thou blade.
I don't do that. I
Oof.
use a 10 for that, but that's the only time I use a 10. I shoot an 8 for every single arrow except my 27s. I shoot a 10.
Remember that day
Uh-uh.
you said that I was playing a different game of archery than you were playing?
I don't remember ever saying that.
Yeah, you do. I was shooting an 8-thou blade that day.
That was with an Invicta. And yes, you were on one that day for sure.
Player 924 did.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. Truly, like I can't tell you.
I've shot 8s, 10s. I've never had a 12 shoot good.
No, I
Ever.
can't tell you the math, the science. I don't know why. All I can tell you is I put a shit ton of time into testing it in the
Yeah.
weaker blades. If it's so weak that you're at full draw and you can like see it, I see mine move. Mine moves at full draw. If Tate films that, like you can see my blade moving. But if it's like excessively moving, then it's too weak. But if you can aim the bow good enough and there's not enough weight on that arrow, and like you just said a 400 and whatever grain arrow, but it's not like that all that is sitting on it. When you draw back, it's like the tip is on it. So if you think about it, it almost has no weight on it when you're actually at full draw.
Yeah.
Realistically, like the difference between my pressure on an 8 and your pressure on an 8 at full draw isn't much as long as your arrow isn't sticking this far in front of your rest. And so, just through the
Shut up,
testing, the
Tate.
weaker one's always better. Did you say the same thing? Yeah. Like I said, I don't know why, but I just know through testing, I always err on the side of weak.
John likes to have about 6 inches of fucking arrow sticking out past his vest.
It's not
Same
that long.
so does Elliot. I wouldn't be smirking too much there.
Hey, man, I fixed that shit. Knock it off.
Can I just say I started this with a full manicure and I've picked all of them off.
Oh,
I've got
my
like 2
God.
left on this hand since we started this.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
last year in
quota.
TAC, Elliot draws his bow back and it's like full length shafts. I don't even think he cut them. I think he
Oh.
forgot to.
Bullshit.
Dude, I'm not kidding you, like a solid 6 to 7 inches in front of the riser.
6,
That's
7.
nothing. Yeah, I believe you, Elliot.
No, it was more than that.
He tells me I run mine too long too, and mine are so short I can't even pick them up because
No, your point's at least inside the shelf. Like in
yeah, I can't even pick it up if it falls off. I'm like, that's too short. I want it in front to where I can lift it back
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
It just,
thank you.
The
That was always my
outsert just
standard.
made it look a little
learn how to
long.
draw your damn bow, and you don't have to have that issue.
It only
still
happens
pops
every
off.
once in a while.
Then you let the bow down.
Get a stiffer blade.
That's a
No, I'm just
letdown.
kidding.
So
I
don't be a bitch.
can't
Shoot your
burn
shot.
those. I can't burn
We
those.
actually had a discussion about this, and at least at the NFAA, I think they kind of said that unless you actually hit full draw, it wouldn't count as a letdown.
I think
Same,
that's
same.
the
If you're like halfway back and it falls off, you should be able that. I wouldn't. I mean, this is like one of those like letter of the law versus like the actual
Yeah.
thing. You know, like I'm gonna interpret that my own way and know that does not count.
Well, speak of Doug Rosin being an asshole sometimes. When we were at Break the Barriers, one of the guys in his group had a hinge where he would like just start to draw and it would click. And so Doug Rosin came and asked that question. Sorry, Doug, I just totally threw you under the bus, but I don't really care.
yeah.
He came and asked the question, and he was
I
like,
was there.
dude, that dude did that a few times in the day. Like, should that count as his letdowns? So we were like talking about it, and I was like, well, I mean, if he did this and it fired, it would count as a 0. So like maybe, and Bruce came over and he's like, that's not how we intended it. There's no way that the committee or whoever decides that would rule on that. He's like, I think pretty much the ruling would be if you haven't hit full draw,
full draw.
it doesn't really count. So if
I
that
think
makes
the
you feel
words
better.
that were used at BTB were the cams needed to be broken over.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was like a big discussion, and
Yeah.
how odd that we've never talked about that before. Like that's never come up. I thought that was really interesting.
I feel like we do a good job of policing ourselves in the community.
Yeah, like we're
It's
honest.
that's a like I feel like that's an integrity thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
lie, at Reading, if I like sometimes when I first go to draw back, it'll just like pop off for some weird reason. In my head, I've never counted that as one of my letdowns. I don't.
I
I,
When
wouldn't
you're
either.
like here,
like if I like just start to draw. So sometimes the only time mine usually falls off is if I lift a little bit more aggressive and the blade had some bounce in it, like right from the get go. And just as I start to draw, it like pops off because the blade's already bouncing. I've never in my head been like, oh, that's a letdown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't happen to me very often. Even if I counted it, it's not like I'm ever usually at the end of my letdown
Yeah.
tell of resistance. But like, you know, I don't know. I never thought about it, honestly, until that discussion came up. So that was kind of an interesting thing.
I
thought.
just going back to my question, just to finish it up, was this weekend I felt like if I made like just a super strong shot, boom, I'd hear this thing, like this little extra twang, and I feel like it's too stiff. I have 212s back there, so it's just
What?
what? Well, no, I got
Are you talking about Zins?
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope. You got 2 of them Swedish lip pillows in right now, or what?
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing. Like when you say it tunes better, that's why I asked you this, and I'll preach this till the day I die. The only thing that matters about tune is how your bow actually shoots and how forgiving it is. When your bow is forgiving, that's when it's tuned. I don't give a fuck if the paper tear looks like this. If when you break a shitty arrow, it still hits the middle, that's when your bow is tuned. And so I can promise you, if you go throw an 8 on and you go through a decent tuning process, it will be more forgiving.
Or 10.
Or 10, even a 10.
8 or a 10.
If you
Get
like,
rid of your backer. You
with
don't need a freaking
12,
backer.
like yeah, even a 10, you would notice a massive forgiveness difference.
Like the bow that I'm shooting, that I shot Reading with, my Reckoning right now, that 36 is the only bow that I've shot outdoors in probably 7 or 8 years that you could walk in and shoot it from 7 feet off the paper and shoot a bullet hole through paper.
Mine never do. Not even close.
That's like I've never had normally that's where I start.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go out and I'll make my like fine adjustments and move them around a little bit and kind of group tuning, you know what I mean? But like never have I ever like just walked in, rocked a bullet hole and then went out and had it just wad. And that's just what happened with that bow this year.
Yeah.
There's always weird
I
stuff.
mean,
like that, but
granted I put about a total of 6 hours into
I
that
was gonna
bow.
say you haven't even shot. Like,
So
That's
yeah,
the method
no.
right there.
I should preface
Yeah.
by saying that the 12 blade came from, like at least 3 years ago when I couldn't get 340s to tune at a 31.5-inch draw. And so it was the only thing that took away like a big nasty tear. And it wasn't grouping either. And then I just moved that 12 over into every setup I ran from
and
then
just
on.
stuck with it.
Yeah, and then I just made it group and made it shoot well afterwards. And I just stuck with it because I'm like,
I'm not saying you can't shoot well with a 12.
I think you should just pull an Elliot and go back to the old fucking HDX with the football clamp.
God, no. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying
dude.
it's easier to get it to shoot good, typically.
No, I'm
Stick with
gonna
what
try it.
works.
I'm gonna try it for sure. I just wanted to hear what your thoughts were on it because I figured after this weekend because I had some really great shots and it's like, well, it's 3 o'clock X, 3 o'clock tweener, but it broke middle, but I just kind of took note of it. It sounded louder and like I noticed it a lot more. So I was just
Yeah.
curious.
I
Personal
don't have
question.
that though, even on an 8.
Was it
There's
was it
some
on
times
slightly
I get
downhill targets? Typically,
Yeah, the one that I really
yeah,
remembered
because
it.
you're getting blade contact because on downhill when you run a super far offset bias sidebar, and if it's causing that bow to twist in your hand, if you don't over put thumb pressure side into the bow, going downhill as a right hand shooter, you're naturally going to torque that bow to the left. So you have to almost force more thumb pressure side to square your blade back up to what you would be naturally on a flat, because you don't have the bar pulling with gravity away from you. And you're
Oh,
getting
okay.
blade contact off of it because the bow's wanting to twist more to the left downhill.
I
Same thing uphill. You're holding it up, the bar's gonna want to fall in. You got to push a little bit harder on the outside to kind of level that out.
and this is
Okay.
why I shoot V-bars, kids.
But that's why you're getting more of your downhill twang sound, because I have had bows where I got the same thing on down.
But if it twangs on an 8, it's less stiff, so it's affecting.
yeah, you're not getting the
Mhm.
effect on it.
That's something that you're hitting.
You're going for a ride off of a springboard especially on double 12s. What the
Yeah.
frick?
Yeah. That's
I
stiff.
just I like to try some
Hey.
things.
This is that going back to our conversation of earlier, like how do you get to like that next level score in Reading? Don't run 2 12s.
This is the how do you get to a 35
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah. You're not wrong.
No, the only 2 arrows that I made good shots on that I didn't score that that I lost points on
Didn't
were
hit.
the elk
Yeah.
herd. Yeah. I made 2 awesome shots on that and neither of them hit.
I mean, it's 88 yards though. You can make a good shot and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with 100. You can make a good shot and fire in the dot and miss.
Yeah. And so the
Mhm.
other ones were definitely me. I had a couple dip bangs that cost me points, things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it was just everything was landing behind the pin. So no need to, it was grouping good and everything. So I just ran it. But it's really loud. And the only one that I can actually point to was our last target where I was clean. And I just remember that second arrow going off and being like, that was
All your
loud.
senses were too heightened for that moment. That's probably what it was.
Probably. That's
Yeah.
probably why it's stuck in my brain too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyways, guys, we appreciate you taking so much time to come and
Yeah.
join us. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You know what I love about this though? At least you do it after dark. It pisses me off when it's outdoor season and people want podcasts in the middle of the day. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm trying to work. Like, at least you guys
Yeah.
do the after hours legitimate. So
it's
at
just
least I'm
because I
not
have to
trying
put my
outside
kids to
shoot.
bed. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, that works. I
Well,
need to go put my kid to bed now.
sneak peek, a
Yeah.
little fast forward. We're gonna have to do one in the morning next week. So
Oh,
Ew,
shit.
not with
yeah.
us.
And not with
No.
us.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
it's
he's
supposed
cool.
to be a secret until next week.
We
You can
won't
learn.
tell.
Shit.
Oh wait,
People
one of
gotta
my
watch.
here, I'm like, we won't tell if we're getting this. Is gonna
Yeah, keep it.
Recorded.
Don't tell anybody.
It's late. I'm tired.
I'll just delete names, so it'll be or he or she's name.
Yeah.
I will just delete
We
that
get it.
one word, so it'll be like, hey, we have to
We get
interview.
how it works.
Yep. Fun moment.
Anyways,
My bad.
thanks for tuning in to Archery
Thanks,
After Hours, guys.
Yep.
Paige,
Thanks
Tate,
you.
we appreciate you and great
Nicely
shooting this
done.
past weekend. So we look forward to talking to you guys some more in the future.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.